All right, welcome back, everybody, to Madrid. And we have the men's final to discuss. And interesting final. I mean, Madrid's always thrown up interesting finals with, it's been a bit of a random event, especially during, quarterfinals, semifinals. You usually get unexpected clay court matchups, players that you don't expect to do well on clay, and they come through and they do well on clay anyway. Draper is one of those. I think going into the clay season, I don't know what we'd expected. Monte Carlo, he didn't do great there. But then this week, he has been incredible. And we know that Madrid is faster clay, which is why it brings up, different players doing well over the time. Let me go through some of the names that have done well this year that maybe we didn't expect. Someone like a Diallo, who is a lucky loser from Canada. No one thought that was going to happen. Medvedev making the quarters. I mean, Klayvedev was a thing for 1 year, but overall, Medvedev's not great on clay. Made the quarterfinals. You got Analdi, maybe a bit of more of a clay quarter there than most. Draper, definitely not a clay quarter before this week. And then you got some familiar faces like Ruud. You got Cerundolo. They've obviously done well on clay. So has Musetti. Like I said, Analdi. Mensik maybe in kind of the Draper camp of yet to be proven on clay. So it does bring up some random kind of results. And then last year, we had Taylor Fritz in the semis. Fritz isn't the best clay quarter in the world. You had Rublev. He's got pretty good on clay. He won the title last year. Lehechka made the semis. Again, maybe not what people expected. 2023, if you want to go back a little bit further, you had players like Struff in the final, which was random. Karatsev was there. Altmaier was a lucky loser that year as well. He did well. And then 2022, it was sort of when we got Djokovic and Alcaraz and, all the big boys playing. Zverev, they all sort of made it. So 2022 was a little bit more predictable. But this tournament doesn't usually give the predictable finals, It's not as easy as this guy and this guy are great on clay. They're going to play. Now, we do know Ruud is great on clay. But can he take down Draper, who has been great this week? Because he has been very, very, very good this week. He's playing so crazy, the play he's playing. All right. Where can you send the postcard? There it is. Link in the chat. PO box in the chat. Then they flopped at the French and on the slower court. Yeah, I mean, next week in Rome, we're going to see whether or not the players that do well this week do well next week, because next week is the sort of the best warm-up for Roland Garros is the Rome Masters. So we'll see. We will see whether or not any of this confidence transfers onto the more relevant surface of slow clay. I wonder what the weather's like next week, because the weather, it's going to be raining on and off. Friday's going to be wet. Tuesday's going to be wet. Next week might be a bit shitty. We might not get much done next week, at least early in the tournament. But we'll find out who plays who, and then we'll see if we can avoid. I mean, we've been lucky this week that we've got a roof, but next week in Rome we're back to what it is. By the way, they're showing the court pace index, 26.1, which is slow, but it's sort of near medium slow. So that's interesting. That I don't recall seeing that graphic in Madrid, but maybe in other tournaments, but maybe they show it. Do they usually show the court pace index before a final? Because if so, I'm going to have to double check. I'm usually watching at the last minute, but not paying attention. But it seems like they're showing the court pace index. Do they? Okay, I'm going to have to check Monte Carlo then. Hang on, let me check. Let me go back, because I didn't notice that. Maybe I'm too busy looking the wrong way. Osaka will beat Mickelson in straights. I don't know what you mean. Let me have a look. What did they do last week when Monte Carlo happened? A few weeks ago. Did you watch the women's doubles? Just got here? No, I didn't. I did not. Where's the replay? Why can't I watch the replay? Can I not watch the replay? Oh, here we go. Condensed replay. I mean, okay, I guess. Oh, they're just showing the replay with the... Okay. Why can't I watch the replay of last week? Of Monte Carlo. I don't want a condensed replay. I want a full replay. I want a full replay. Anyways, players about to walk out on court. These two have played, never played. Never played before. First time meeting. First time meeting. Alcaraz Altmaier, Alcaraz condensed, Alcaraz. Oh, here we go. Full replay. Gotcha. Or was it highlights? Oh no, these are highlights. Damn it. No, we'll find it. Who have I got? I've got Draper in 3. Draper in 3. Casper to win his first Masters today. Yeah, he's got a lot of pressure on him as well. It's a lot to cover. Oh, here we go. So let me have a look. Let me see if I can find any comparison to Monte Carlo. Whether or not the what the court speed was in Monte Carlo in comparison, so we can kind of get a bit of better idea. Draper just reaching the final is a great week for him, so it feels like pressure on his side. Yeah, he's the favourite to win, but that's only because he's played a hell of a lot better to get here. But, yeah, I mean, Ruud definitely has the pressure of not having won this title and being a big chance of winning his first 1,000 title. He's also beaten some big names to get here, beaten Cerundolo, who he had a losing record to, beat Medvedev for the first time this week, took out Fritz along the way. So Ruud's going to be liking his chances, but Draper's got nothing to lose. I mean, nobody expected Draper to make a clay court final. Except for the Draper fans. You know. I think Draper in 3 sets. Hopefully great match. Yeah. We will see. All right. I have no idea who won the toss. I have no idea. I predicted a Draper final, but not against my countryman, no. Wawrinka fighting to survive. Yeah, he's playing a challenger. All right, players just warming up. All right, so Ruud's going to... All right, so Draper won the toss, elected to receive. That's what happened. It took way longer than I expected to. Draper won the toss. Ruud's going to serve. But I could have told you that because it bloody says here. Anyways, 40 years old, not too shabby. No idea who you're talking about. You're talking about Wawrinka? Yeah, what is Stan up to? How's he? So he's 4-2 down, 2-4 down in a third. So Chorich is up a break in the third. Why would someone elect to receive? Well, most of the time, if you're not playing when I growing up. By the way, Ruud's not lost a set this week. When I was playing, I always got told by my coaches that if you're playing against a big server, like you're playing against like a Riley Opelka like serve, right? A guy who's just gonna who you're gonna struggle against returning. then you serve because you want to be in front. But if you're playing against someone who doesn't have a massive serve and you trust your serve, then you make them serve. And that way you can kind of get on the returns. You know, it kind of depends. I mean, look, if you have a good serve and you think like, well, if you win the game, I'm happy to serve second because I trust my serve like Draper trusts his serve. Then, you know, maybe a bit of nerves from your opponent and they throw in some double faults. And then you can maybe, if you think you're going to be able to break early, that's kind of, I guess, what I'm getting at. So if you think that you can break your opponent's serve and you win the toss, maybe you want to throw them into the water first. You know, if they have nerves and you think, well, their serve's not that damaging. But if they've got a massive serve and you know it, you don't want to let them serve because they're probably not going to get broken first game, and you might go down 3-love if you get broken. So that's what my coach back in the day kind of said to me. Also, I think, I don't know, there's probably something in Brad Gilbert's book about whether to serve or not. It can backfire. It can. It can if you underestimate your opponent's serve. Remember, these guys have never played. So Ruud does have a good serve. He's not got a massive serve, and Draper obviously rates his chances of returns. But if Ruud holds and Draper is shaky, then that could get ugly. But again, I think I feel like a lot of players these days want a return serve because they want to just get a feel of the ball. You know, I don't feel like many players serve first these days. It sounds like, especially on clay. You know, serving on clay is, you get more breaks on clay because it's slower, right? So again, another reason why you might want to receive first if you win. Also, Draper has been returning well this week. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't that just work out the other way as well? Casper is playing against a good server, so therefore he would want to serve first. So for both perspectives, Ruud should start serving. Yeah, I mean, Ruud might have won. If he won the toss, he might have said, I want to serve. Yeah, you're right. Ruud might, like, just because Draper says, I want you to serve, doesn't mean Ruud's thinking, oh, damn. He might have been like, yeah, I would do that anyway. But they might have both, I mean, it's just like cricket, right? You know, when they figure out who's going to bowl and bat in cricket, sometimes the team that want to bowl, they wanted to bowl. And the team that wanted to bat, get to bat. And, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's very, unless there's a team that they both want to, you know, bowl first, that's when it becomes becomes important. But if you want to do one thing and that you want to do the other thing, then you both get to do what you want to do. It's fine. And maybe that's exactly what happened here. Ruud's like, I wanted to serve first. And Draper's like, well, you can serve first. That could happen too. All right. Here we go, chat. We're about to start the final of Madrid. I have Draper in 3. Let's see what happens. Draper won the toss, elected to receive. And we are underway. Ruud to serve. Let me know in the chat who you got. Let me know who you have. As Ruud wins the first point, 15-love. Jack in 3, Ruud in 3, Jack in 2, Draper in 2, Draper Wimbledon champion. Yep, that's not today, but yeah, I get it. Draper in 3, Draper in straights, Ruud in 3. All right. The first point goes to Ruud. Draper in 3, Draper. All right. Ruud in 3. All right, a lot of people going with Draper, though. That is to be expected. All right, 30-love Ruud. It's going to come down to his serve as well. He's going to have to serve well. 30-love to Ruud. Ruud will figure out Draper and out-strategize. Okay. Neither of these guys have won lots of set this week, though, so it's going to be interesting. Both players are. It'll be interesting who loses the first set and if they can recover. You know, that'll be the interesting part of this. Who can recover after losing their first set of the week mentally? You know, 40-love Ruud. I want Ruud to win, so I'm all set to root again for him. Okay. 40 love. Ruud to take the first game of this final. I'm just glad we don't have two players wearing the same kit. Yeah. That has been a problem this week, hasn't it? Ruud serves a fault. Draper to lose. Okay. Ruud's fiance's there. Yep. It'd be the biggest moment of his career if he wins his title, Ruud, because he hasn't won one of these before. Draper has this year, you know. Draper won Indian Wells as Draper hits a winner down the line. It's 40-15. Lovely hitting from Draper. 40-15. Draper's left thigh is wrapped. It is. It is wrapped. Good observation. He has a left thigh bandage. 40-15. As Ruud serves again. Into the forehand of Draper. Return goes to the forehand of Ruud. Draper forehand on the stretch. Ruud into the backhand of Draper. Again, the forehand of Ruud. Ruud in the net. 40-30. 40-30. Mickelson won earlier. Nice. Ruud serves to the forehand of Draper. Return goes to the forehand of Ruud. Draper backhand slice. Lob goes up. And Ruud puts away the smash. One love Ruud. First game in the bag. All right. One love to Ruud. Stan is playing top notch. Yeah, what's going on with Stan? Did he? He's trying to break back. He's working. All right. One love Ruud. All right, Draper to serve. As he's the forehand out of the forehand of Ruud, back into Draper. Into the forehand of Ruud is Draper. Goes with the backhand down the line. Ruud with a slice. Draper forehand cross. Ruud with a backhand to the backhand of Draper into the forehand of Ruud on the stretch. Ruud goes wide and it's 15 love. So, Chad, if you haven't seen the previews, which I don't know why you wouldn't, because, I mean, they've been out for 2 days. If you haven't seen the previews, so... And also, like, if you haven't seen the previews, because, especially on the ATP side, the shot quality is part of the previews with the big tournaments here, and it's very important. It plays a part into what I think is going to happen, too. Because if somebody's tournament average shot quality is like off the chain, like off the charts, how are you not going to pick them, right? So we've got to keep an eye on the shot quality for this match throughout the match because Draper has been dominating all around. So serve, return, forehand, backhand, 8.0 or above, which is really good, right? 8 out of 10, right? Ruud's backhand has been a 6.8. That's the worst shot he's had. So, you know, forehand to backhand, obviously for a lefty, you know, there's going to be their weapon, right? Serving out wide to the backhand, all that stuff. So it's going to be fun to see Ruud's shot quality on the backhand side, especially against Draper. So that's going to be huge to think. And also Ruud's returns, because Ruud's returns are only a 7.3 this tournament. So we'll keep an eye on that. As Ruud returns backhand into the forehand of Draper, it's out and it's 40-15. So we've got to keep an eye on the backhand of Ruud. And also the returns of Ruud. But also if Draper's shots are below 8.0, shot quality-wise, it's going to be, maybe it does give Ruud a chance. All right. 40-15. By the way, don't forget to sub if you haven't already. As we just serve now the forehand of Ruud. Return goes into the forehand of Draper. Ruud backhand. Into the corner, Draper on the stretch, and he hits a winner. And Draper levels 1-1. 1-1. So looking at the shot quality currently, Draper, after 2 games, 9.3 on the serve and return. And a 6 on the forehand, 7.6 on the backhand. So it'll take about, probably half a set to kind of even out, because obviously in the first couple of games you don't have much data, so the shot quality is going to be off the charts, but or maybe terrible, right? Somebody might have a terrible backhand in the first game of the match, and it's like 2. Ace from Ruud, 15 love. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on that for you, because I know we've been using them in the previews, so I want to mention them in the matches. One in the chat, does everyone know the shot? Like, does everyone know what, has heard of shot quality? The shot quality of things? I mean, you've probably seen in the broadcast when they put up like a 9.6 or something when someone's serving amazing or whatever. Let me know in the chat if you you've seen shot quality in the broadcast sometimes. Or maybe on the channel when I'm talking about it. That goes wide by Ruud, 15-0. I have no idea how it's measured or calculated, but you can go Google that because it's on their socials. There's a bunch of factors. And I'm not going to pretend like I know it off by heart, but there's a lot of factors come into how the number is produced, not just winners and errors. As a return goes into the forehand of Ruud, back forehand from Draper on the stretch, goes long, and it's 30-15. Stefan Edberg in the house. And also Ronaldo, not Cristiano. It's Ronaldo, original Ronaldo. The original Ronaldo for Brazil. All right, 30-15. As we return out of the front of Ruud. Backhand now from Draper into the front of Ruud, who hits it wide, and it's 30-0. Ruud's forehands are getting a little shaky. All right, 30-0. $30 with a serve again. Here's a fault by Ruud, second serve. As he double faults. I think 30-40. Break point for Draper to start this final. $30-40. Ruud with the serve again. Here's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Is a double fault. All right. Ruud with back-to-back double faults. And the break goes to Draper. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1. Please don't put the scores in the chat. Yeah, please don't do that. Unless it's for Wawrinka, that's fine. Yeah, please don't put any scores in the chat. It will, especially if people are trying to listen. By the way, if you are somehow ahead of the stream, make sure you pause your television stream or hold off until something happens. Just wait. Yeah, 2 double faults in one game. Don't announce what happens before cancel. Yeah, exactly. I'm not reading the chat, so it doesn't, well, not always. Sometimes it does distract me, but people in the chat, some people are not watching the match and listening, so please refrain from putting it in the chat. All right. I'd love to see Draper win. I'm such a Novak fan. I don't think he would beat Carlos in Paris, but he surprised me. Okay. Listen to you and staring at the Hard Rock app. I don't know what that is. The dating app? I don't know what you're talking about. All right, 2-1. 2-1. As Draper serves a fault, second serve. Jack Draper, secret son of Djokovic and Serena Williams. How? What do you mean? 2-1. There's a forehand now to the backhand of Draper. Forehand from Ruud to the backhand of Draper. Again, the forehand of Ruud. Draper backhand. Again, the forehand of Ruud. Into the forehand of Draper. Ruud with a slice. Draper forehand. Goes wide. Left 15. Oh, it's a gambling app. Okay. By the way, to the person that said Djokovic, secret son of Djokovic, Draper's what, 24? Djokovic is what, 38? The math ain't mathin'. Like, that doesn't make sense. That don't make any sense. So, bad joke. That math ain't mathin'. All right. If he was 40 and Draper was 18, yeah, okay, yep. But that math ain't mathin'. Made no sense. Please, if you're going to tell a joke, remember that some of us think logically. And that ain't logic. That made no sense. Anyways, love 15. As the return goes into the forehand of Draper. To the backhand of Ruud. There's Draper. Forehand again to the backhand of Ruud. In the backhand of Draper is Ruud with a forehand again to the backhand of Draper. In the backhand of Ruud is Draper backhand cross. That's a good shot. Ruud gets it. Draper forehand down the line. Ruud gets it with a forehand cross. Draper's backhand goes in the backhand of Ruud. In the backhand of Draper is Ruud slice in the net. 15-all. 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 Mods. 18-shot rally, by the way. It's a long rally, but Draper's winning the long rallies. All right. Ruud to the backhand of Draper again. The forehand of Ruud. Down the line, winner from Ruud. 15-30. 15-30. Chance for Ruud to break back. 15-30. As the return goes into the forehand of Draper, he smokes the winner down the line. 30-all. Stands at 5-5. Nice. All right, 30-all. Show the match. Cannot do that. Okay. Serve again. Into the forehand of Ruud. Down the line of the forehand of Draper. Ruud with the forehand inside out. No, inside in, sorry. Draper backhand cross court. Ruud's got there. Then Draper slices it. Ruud's going to get there with a backhand slice. Draper. Down the line again. Ruud slices again. Cross court into the forehand of Draper, who hits a winner. Too good. Draper too good. 40-30. How many finals has Ruud lost? I don't know. I'll find out in a second for you. What's your dream semi-final at the French? How about Draper, Carlos, Novak, Sinner? Then Sinkeraz final. Draper to win at 3-1. I mean, sure. Why not? Why not? Yeah. Let's do that one. That's great. That's a great one. Anyways, what was it? 15-0. As Ruud tries to hold here. Novak is not making the semis. Yeah. All right. 30-15, Ruud. As he tries to stay in this set. As the return goes into the backhand of Ruud. Backhand of Draper to the backhand of Ruud. Into the front of Draper. Ruud shanks it. 30-0. Trouble again. By the way, Draper's shot quality, serve 7.7, 8.4 on the returns, 8.8 on the forehand, and 9.1 on the backhand. Ruud's backhand surprisingly good though, 9.4. That's way above his average for the tournament. So his backhand's, but he's hitting a lot more backhands because of Draper's leftiness. As Ruud forehand goes into the backhand of Draper, Ruud wins the point. It goes wide by Draper, and it's 40-30. 40-30. Ruud looks very uncomfortable out there. Yeah. Oh, by the way, somebody in the crowd almost got smoked by that ball. All right, 40-30. Draper is like Krejcikova, unbeatable in finals. Cool. Draper returns in the net. Ruud holds 3-2. Draper with a break. Now I know some of you are probably asking, what is Ruud's record against lefties? I know some of you are asking that, I'm sure, or at least you thought you're gonna ask it eventually. So I'll tell you. Ruud against left-handers, because his backhand, I think he would admit that his backhand is his weakest shot. 51 wins, 31 losses. Last time he played a lefty was actually in Miami, where he beat Tabilo. He did lose to Shapo in the final at Dallas, who's a lefty. But he has been good lately. Now, if we want to narrow that down to clay court, he's 28 wins, 15 losses against lefties on clay, including a very long win streak going back to 2019, only losing to Rafa and Montero in the span of like 6 years. So let me check. So 18 out of 20 matches in a row. 18 of the last 20 matches he's played, he's beaten left-handers. Like I said, Rafa at Roland Garros, and also Montero in Bostad 2 years ago. So this is the first time he's played a lefty on clay for, last year in Bostad. So 18 out of his last 20 matches on clay against lefties, he has won. So that's a great record. That's a great record. And that dates back to September of 2019. So pretty much most of Ruud's professional, in 2019 he was 60 in the world, but then after that he's been since 2021, he's been sort of top 20 and even top 10 since 2022. So that is a 18-win, 2-loss record on clay against lefties in, 6 years? Love 15. Can Ruud break back? As we're back in now from Draper down the line to the back of Ruud. He hits a passing shot winner. Love 30. Cam, you once thought Shelton would be like Draper. Draper is far better. When did I say that? When did I say that Shelton will be like Draper? I don't remember saying that once. I never compared them. I said Shelton was going to be like Rafa, but not Draper. I don't think I compared Draper with Shelton. Definitely Rafa though. Yeah. Big serving Rafa, I definitely said that, but I don't remember saying Draper. But Shelton is like a massive serving Rafa. Love 30. As we're backing out from Draper down the line, the backhand of Ruud. Draper forehand on the stretch. As Ruud hits it in the net. 15-30. $15.30. What's Ruud's finals record? Ruud's finals record. 15 wins, 18 losses in all tournaments, including small tournaments. 12 wins, 12 losses in big tournaments. On clay, though, he's 11 wins, 6 losses. Most of those, of course, are 250s. As Draper comes in with a volley, and that's a winner, 30-all. Ruud has won his last 2 clay court finals, beating Mahatch in Geneva and also Tsitsipas in Barcelona. Before that, he'd lost 3 in a row, going back to Roland Garros 23 and all the way to Monte Carlo 24. But yeah, 11 wins, 6 losses in finals of clay court tournaments, Ruud. And I'll tell you some of the players he's lost to. Djokovic, Tsitsipas, Rublev, Rafa. That's 4 of the 6. And then Vilch and Garin. 40-30. And some of the players he's beaten in finals of clay court events. Tsitsipas, Berrettini, Schwartzman, Shapovalov, Kecmanovic, Mahatch. So he's got a good list of players that he's beaten and also understandably lost some big finals, to some top 10 guys. Or even some GOATs, All right, backhand return from Ruud, 40-30. Draper trying to take the 4-2 lead. He does with a forehand winner. Draper, too good. 4-2. 4-2. Ruud could have won 3 Grand Slam titles. Hell yeah. I think realistically, though, he could have won only 1. The other 2, I don't think he had a chance. But definitely the US Open final, he was in there with a chance. He could have beaten Alcaraz. Had he won the 3rd set tiebreak, it might have been his. But he had no chance against Rafa at Roland Garros, and he didn't really stand a chance against Novak the year after. 4-2 as Draper goes wide. 15 love. 15 love. Cam, is Ruud better than Hewitt? No. On clay? Maybe. In general? No. Hewitt's got 2 Grand Slams, world number 1 for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. 1,000 event titles. Wins over Federer. And Rafa. I mean, no. All right, 15 love. As a forehand from Ruud is a drop shot. Draper gets it and hits a winner.
This is going to be on Tennis TV.
He just came up and he just flicked the forehand into the corner. 15-0. Novak was tough at Roland Garros, but obviously Rafa, yeah. Lovely forehand pickup by Draper. 15 all. Serve again from Ruud. It's a return from Draper, goes to forehand of Ruud. Draper forehand on the stretch. Ruud forehand down the line. Draper backhand cross. Ruud gets with a slice. Draper forehand into the backhand of Ruud with a pass. It's a winner. Nice hustle. 30-15. Hewitt or Murray? Hewitt is my favorite player of all time. Why would I not pick Hewitt? I don't know what you're referring to, though. Like, who's better, or are you just referring to who I like better? It's very vague. It's a very vague question. Am I not authorized to comment on Wawrinka match? No, I'm watching this match. But Stan's playing, and I think it just started raining, so he's in a tie break, but I think it's a rain delay. Anyways, backhand out from Draper is good, but the volley is better by Ruud, 40-15. Somebody in the chat's probably watching it. Is it starting to rain? I think it started to rain, right? Is that why there's an interruption? All right. 40-15. Ruud to level. Sorry, to hold. Keep close. It is raining. There you go. Chat, if I'm not watching it, someone in the chat is. So feel free to ask questions about other matches and somebody in the chat will enlighten you. Ruud with a lovely winner. Okay, he's starting to feel this final a little bit, Ruud. 4-3 Draper with the break, though. All right. I told you Alcaraz and Sinner, Draper, and Feast in the next big four. What about Menzik? Do you know what happened with Stan's Challenger final? It's raining. It's underwater. Hewitt wouldn't be top 10 in this era. I'll tell you, you wouldn't be in this chat with that attitude like that. I wouldn't allow that. If he was playing this era and you coming in talking like that, you would be out. In fact, totally wrong too, because de Minaur is in the top 10 in this era. So you are wrong. Hewitt would definitely be in the top 10. So you are wrong. Don't come at my guy. Don't come at my guy. Can't wait for Sinner's return. Yeah. He will be back. I think he's practicing tomorrow, right? He's allowed to practice tomorrow? Rain, go away. Coming back another day. Well, it'll come back to Rome tomorrow. Sinner is practicing tomorrow with Lehechka. There you go. Who'd win right now? Casper or TP? You mean Tommy Paul? On clay, Ruud. When is the Rome ceremony? Tomorrow. Yep, the Wawrinka match is raining. That's why it stopped. Do you think Sinner can come back as strong as he left? Impossible question to answer. So I'm not going to answer it. We're just going to watch him. We're going to watch him, so we don't even need to answer that question. We'll find out the answer when we watch him. No point in speculating. I mean, what's the point, right? Speculating whether or not Ruud's going to be better or worse than he was. I think the only thing we could say is that maybe he's going to be a little rusty. Maybe he does, not playing for 3 months competitively. Maybe he's not going to come out of the blocks and win 6-love. But then again, maybe he does. But we'll just wait and see. It's fine. We'll watch him on Friday. It'll be Friday or Saturday. We'll see him. So we can't. It's so hard to know because because he didn't leave the Australian Open on a clay court, right? So it's impossible to know whether or not. If he was coming back on a hard court, you'd say, yeah, fine. Clay's a little different, plus the 3-month rust. All right, 15-0. And it also depends on his opponent. It depends so much on who he plays. Because if he plays, and I'm sorry to name names, but I have to name names because you asked me a question. If he comes out and plays somebody like I love Jordy Thompson, but if he plays Jordan Thompson in the second round, I don't think Jordan Thompson on a clay court is going to beat Jannik Sinner in Rome. For example, right? But he could play the second round against, he could play against, someone who is good on clay, like a Fonseca, or he could play, second round against Jarry, right? That's awkward. So there's definitely, it depends on his draw. Expect him to be rusty, but it just depends on who he plays. As Ruud hits in the net, 30-15. Yeah, he could play a clay quarter, he could play a qualifier. You know? So wait and see. We're going to find out pretty quickly anyway. I'm not a huge tennis guy. When is the next big tournament after Madrid? Literally on Tuesday. Tuesday, we're back at it. So tomorrow we get a day off and then we come back on Tuesday. All right, 30-15. As the return goes into the forehand of Draper and he puts it away, 40-15. I know Demonor is Australian, but after the interview where he mocked Djokovic and then destroyed him in the next match, I'm not a fan. Okay. As we just serve again from Draper. 40-15. As we return now to the forehand of Draper. Forehand now from Ruud. Draper forehand to the forehand of Ruud on the stretch. Draper drop shot. Goes wide. 40-30. What time's the draw ceremony? Early. It's on early tomorrow. Early. Well, when I say early, it's on like late for me, but it's on early for yeah. Are they doing both the draw or just the men's? Oh, sorry, just the ladies. It says here draws at noon. And Draper holds 4-3. 5-3. Stefan Berg is there. Oh, okay. So the ladies draws at 11 and the men's draws at 12. So they're kind of at the same time, but not really. I don't know why they just don't do it at the same time. It seems so stupid. Why would you wait? Why would you just do back to back? Does it need to be an hour between? I don't know. Is that coffee, tea, or vodka? Tea. Okay. 5-3. Ruud serving to stay in the set. As we get a backhand from Ruud. Into the forehand of Draper. Draper has the winner. Beautiful shot. Draper's forehand is the shot today. Draper's forehand is the weapon. Love 15. He's up at a 9.0 shot quality on the forehand side, which is higher than his tournament average. So that's the weapon. That's his weapon. His forehand is flying, but not much Ruud can do about it because unless Ruud starts hitting inside-out backhands, he's going to keep having to hit it to that forehand. Don't be a pleb and drink good coffee. Bro, I'm from Melbourne. The home of coffee. Of the greatest coffee in the world. Like, are you kidding me? I don't drink coffee on stream as a professional courtesy so that I can speak and not sound like a pack-a-day smoker due to all the milk and dehydration that coffee brings. But you bet your ass that tomorrow morning I wake up and drink coffee. It's just that I don't drink coffee at work. I drink tea. For longevity. It's strategic. It's got nothing to do with whether or not... You think I'd want to drink tea? You think I want to drink tea? I'm from Melbourne. We dress in black. We drink coffee. 30-15. As Ruud serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. Double fault Ruud. 30-all. If it's not English breakfast, it's not tea. It's peppermint tea. Again, for my vocals. All right, serve again. Peppermint tea is very healthy. Well, that's a bonus. I mean, that's exactly why I drink it. Health. Anyways, good serve, Ruud. 4:30. Melbourne facts. Melbourne, look, I am from Melbourne. I'm a Melburnian. Pat Cash was always my favorite Aussie tennis player. The moment he climbed through the crowd at Wimbledon was iconic. Yep. And guess what? The guy that he climbed through the crowd to go hug his coach was my coach's dad. 40-30. Is it a forehand cross court at the back into Draper? Forehand now from Ruud into the forehand of Draper, who hits it in the net. Ruud holds 5-4. Draper serving for the set. I want to see if maybe my coach was in the stands. Let me check. Was my coach in the stands at the time? Was he there? I never asked. Was my coach there? I can't tell. There's a lot of people there. That's definitely Ian Barclay. I've met him a few times. Can't tell. Where the hell's the photo? Where the... I can't tell. I need better photos. I need to probably watch the video. Anyways. Listening while driving. Nice. Drive safe. Keep your eyes on the road. Stay alert. Have 2 hands on the wheel. 9 and whatever. 10 and 2 or whatever. Verstappen or Piastri for Miami? Piastri. I'm Australian. I'm biased. Podcast comments about ladies Wimbledon final viewership versus his backup practice legend. I don't know what that. I don't know what you're saying. All right, Draper serving to win the set. Five, 4. First there's a fault, second serve. You think this match has potential match of the tournament? Yeah. I don't even know what match of the tournament would be on the men's side this week. Chat, what's match of the tournament this week for the men? Love 15, Draper hits it wide. Zverev versus Fokina. That was good. Paul, I mean, I think quality-wise, Paul versus Fonseca was the best quality we've seen all week on the men's side. That was by far the highest quality match we've seen. Fonseca versus Paul, that second round, was crazy. We said Draper was good, just didn't go 3 sets. Cerundolo Mensik, yeah, I mean, the score suggests that. Anyways, good serve there from Draper, 30-15. There were quite a few thrillers, too close to call. Yeah, I think this match has to definitely go 3 sets, but also probably has to have some sort of a fight comeback or some sort of a something, you know, some sort of a dramatic event to happen. Break in the third. Break up in the crowd, you know, a couple fighting. 30-all! Draper trying to get this first set. He's faced 0 break points so far. 30-all. Serve out wide is let. First serve again, Draper. There's another let. Serve again. That's a fault. Second serve, Draper. By the way, Chorich won the title. As we serve down the tee. Ruud runs around into forehand to the back end of Draper. Forehand of Ruud. Into the forehand of Draper. To the forehand of Ruud. Draper on the stretch. Cross court goes wide. First break point of the day goes for Casper Ruud. 30-40. Little shaky from Draper, missing a few first serves. And the crowd go wild. 30-40. Draper with a serve. You bet he's serving out wide. He's serving out wide to the backhand of Ruud. He's got to do that. He's going to do that. Lefty serve out. Oh, he went down the tee. And he missed it. Fault, second serve. Second serve. That goes out wide. Ruud runs around, hits a forehand. Draper down the line. Ruud gets on the stretch. As Draper, forehand again. Ruud's got that with a slice. Draper in control. He hits a forehand down the line. Now Ruud. Cross court. Draper's got it. Again to the forehand of Ruud. Draper gets it with a backhand into the forehand again of Ruud. Down the line, good from Ruud. Slice. Draper goes long. We're back on serve. All right. This final is starting now. And that man in the crowd, he's pointing. He's like, you. 5-5. Who is that man, the pointer? Who is the pointer? Who the hell is that pointing guy? He's sitting next to Ruud's dad. He's like, sit down. We're in the coach's box. You got to act respectful. Can't be pointing at people in the crowd. What the hell are you doing? Sit down, sir. This is a tennis match. You're in the coach's box. You got to act accordingly. Don't get overexcited. No cartwheels allowed. 5-all. Ruud's back on serve. Bro, out here pointing to everybody. Who the hell is that guy? Tell the manager to calm down. He's getting a little excited. Uncle Ruud can't take you anywhere. 15 love. Ruud serves again. 15 love. As he serves again, Ruud. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. Just saw a replay of that guy pointing. I think he must have been pointing at someone who was going for Draper or something. It looked like he was having beef. That guy was beefing with the crowd. Uncle Ruud is beefing with the crowd. By the way, Ronaldo in the house, not Cristiano, but the original. 15-all. The original number 9 for Brazil. Brazilian Ronaldo. Is that how they refer to him? Brazilian Ronaldo? As the return goes into the forehand of Ruud. Draper puts up a lob. Ruud with a smash. Draper gets there with the backhand lob again, but it's long. 30-15. The original number 9. R9. Ronaldo de Lima. I just remember him as Ronaldo. And then they brought in Cristiano Ronaldo. Brazilian Ronaldo. That dude was a beast. Terrible haircuts, but beast. Absolute beast. Him and Ronaldinho. Poof. Brazil on fire. Anyways, forehand goes into the backhand of Draper. Now down the line of the forehand of Draper into the backhand of Ruud. Draper backhand. Into the backhand of Ruud. Again to the backhand of Draper. Ruud backhand cross. Draper gets with a forehand, but he overhits it. Draper's forehand is falling off. 40-15. And Draper just started to stretch his leg. Draper just started to stretch. He has got tape on the left leg, Draper. 40-15. You must be Unk then. Look, calm down, kid, all right? 40-15. As that goes in the net from Draper on the return. And it's Ruud with the lead. The first time in, the match, it feels like. All right. Tennis Insider showed the Draper with better stats all round than Ruud right now. Do we think Ruud has a chance here today? Well, the thing is, yeah, Draper has got better stats. I'm looking at the shot quality now. 7.9 on the serve, 7.6 on the return. So his returns are, they're both less than his tournament average. 7.8 on the backhand is not great. 8.6 forehand. So his forehand is definitely the key. But Ruud's shot quality, 8.9 on forehand, 9.2 on the backhand. So Ruud's shot quality compared to his average this week, especially the backhand, is so good. 7.9 on the serve and a 7.6 on the return. So Ruud, as I showed Draper, just stretching out the legs, so there's definitely some discomfort. Ruud is across the board, except for the serve. The serve is lower than his average, but the return, forehand, backhands are way higher, especially forehand and backhand. So Ruud's ground strokes today are so much better than he has all tournament. And Draper's not playing as well as he has. He's about average where his average is, except for the returns. Returns aren't great. So, interesting. Ruud is definitely playing a lot better than his stats suggested before coming in. And Draper's playing about the same as he has this week. Remember, neither of these guys have lost a set, so somebody's going to lose their first set in the next 30 minutes. All right, Draper to... Draper to serve. He says a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Serving to the front of Ruud. Return goes to the front of Draper. Ruud gets the point. Draper hits it long. Love 15. 30 minutes, bro. Prepare for a long one. I said within the next 30 minutes. I was just giving myself extra time. I could say the next 10 minutes and it might take longer. So I'm just... I didn't say in 30 minutes. It's the next 30. Within the next 30 minutes. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 3 minutes. Could be 30 minutes. Ruud in the net. 15-0. 15-0. Could be 1 minute. Hey, it could be. It could be 1 minute. As Draper serves the backhand of Ruud. Return goes in. The forehand of Draper. Ruud with a forehand lob. Draper bounce, smash. Puts it away. And it's 30-15. Cam, is that a tennis ball couch in the background? Yes, it is. This is a tennis ball couch. It was on eBay. And it is a one of a kind that was used in promotional material back in the 2010s to promote a racket used by Roger Federer and Serena Williams. As with a forehand line from Draper, that goes out 30-0. And it was funded by the chat 18 months ago now, right? The people in the chat that donated to the stream during Halloween to fund the couch. And then the next day, I drove a van about an hour and a half to get it off of a guy who was going to reupholster it to look like Wimbledon colors. So he was going to strip it back and change it. So we saved it. Luckily, that guy didn't start cutting the couch before I got there. But yeah, we rescued it. Now it sits here in my house. Is it a volley now from Ruud? That's a winner. He's got a set point, Ruud. 30-40 to steal it. 30-40. The couch is so famous in the channel that we have an emoji for it. Exactly. There is an emoji specifically for a couch. That's how infamous the couch has become. It's a rescue couch. Exactly. All right, 30-40. Set point, Ruud. Hadn't had a break point to the last game. Now he's about to win the set. Draper serves. Draper with a serve. To the backhand of Ruud. Lob goes up. Goes in. Oh no, Draper's in trouble. He shanks it! Draper put himself in trouble by trying to serve and volley. And he ran backwards and shanked the forehand into the crowd. Ruud, 7-5. Stole the set after Draper served for it. And Draper's starting to get pissed off. Yeah, he's not happy. Draper's losing his mind. Yeah, Draper's not happy. He is freaking out. He is so pissed off. He is so angry. Draper's saying, I'm out. It's unbelievable. I think he's saying he's tired. And maybe that's why he's serving volley, because he thought he was losing energy. First set, he's lost. Now, remember, chat, what I said at the start of this match. Whoever loses the first set, it'll be interesting to see, because neither of these guys have lost a set all week. How do they mentally come back from losing their first set of the week? Draper right now, if this is how he's going to be in the second, it's not going to go 3. Because Draper is not reacting or not in a positive frame after losing the first set of his week. And he's getting pissed off. He's yelling at the coaches. He's not happy with himself. 11 winners, 8 errors from Ruud in that set. 14 winners, 14 errors from Draper. 8 forehand errors, including that shank at the end. So Ruud a lot cleaner than Draper, especially towards the end of that set. He said no energy. He said, I have no energy. This is Draper. He said, I have no energy. He's like, I'm trying to breathe. Yeah, he said, I have no energy. And he's freaking out with the change of ends. And Draper's saying, I'm so done. Yeah, he's just like, yeah, he's not happy. Draper was pissed. All right. It's kind of strange that he's out of energy, though, because he hasn't played, both these guys haven't played that much tennis this week. You know, they haven't played 3-setters. They haven't been pushed to long matches throughout the, it's not like Draper came in here with 2 3-setters or anything. He smoked Rinaldi. He played a tough one against Musetti, but not a long 3-setter. It was a straight sets match. He got a pass against Berrettini, who pulled out. He demolished Tommy Paul, and he beat Grigspor pretty easily. So it's weird that he's out of energy. Even though that first set was almost an hour, it seems a bit strange that he's not feeling it. But again, maybe it was a reaction from losing the set after serving for it. Maybe it was a little more frustration for serving for the set and then losing it. But let's see. Draper is going to have to fight back, so he has no energy. Shit. Good luck. Because Ruud is not going to let him back in this. By the way, Ruud shanked that return on set point too. That was ugly. Anyway, it's 4-0 Ruud inside out to winner. First few games of this second set are going to show whether or not Draper is ready for this. Draper's got to lock in. By the way, last 4 games, Ruud's forehand 9.6, Draper's forehand 4.2 shot quality in the last 4 games. So since being 5-3 up, Draper's forehand non-existent. Ruud's forehand, unstoppable. As Draper hits backhand, Ruud puts up a lob. Draper smash, he's going to let it bounce. Hits it straight to Ruud, but he can't handle the heat. 15-0. $15 4.2 is diabolical. Yeah, from serving for the set, his forehand abandoned him. When his forehand was the best shot, his forehand was the best shot in the first, when he got, to get the lead. That was what helped him, or what got him in the lead was the forehand. Hitting return winners and smoking the shots in the ground strokes, 15-0. And then it abandoned him at the end. Serve out wide to the backhand of Draper. Return goes to forehand of Ruud. Draper backhand into the backhand of Ruud. In the backhand of Draper. Ruud forehand down the line. Draper's got it on the stretch, but it's wide, just wide. 30-15. Credit to Ruud for changing things. Yeah. Ruud hasn't changed much though. It's more just Draper got a little. His forehand just started to miss. Shot quality is out of 10. So a 9.6 out of 10 is near perfect. Has been ace from Ruud. 40-15. Now, 2 things here, chat. Both mental. One, how does Draper recover from losing that lead? When he was serving, he hadn't faced a break point until he got broken. And then he faced 2 in 2 games and got broken for the match, for the set. But also, how does Ruud play now that he is 1 set away from for the biggest trophy of his life? That's what we're going to find out. The mentality of both and the nerves are going to be really interesting. One love Ruud. Expect Ruud to be a little nervous as this set goes on. And also, let's see if Draper can recover mentally after that disappointing drop. Ruud to serve. Draper to serve. 1-love Ruud. One zero Ruud. Can Draper's body hold up in the best of 5? Yes, because he played 3 5-setters in Australia. And then he had to retire the 4th match he played, but I mean 3 5-setters in a row would suggest that he can play 5 sets. This week Ruud seemed against the wall until he wasn't. Yeah, he's had a few interesting matchups, but again, hasn't lost any sets though, Ruud. And if Ruud does win this title, he's beaten Medvedev, he's beaten Fritz, and he's also beating Draper. I'm not sure if Medi was a top... Is Medi top 10 this week? Or was he top 10 this week? He was, right? Yeah, so 3 top 10 players to win your first 1,000 title. That is a run. And that is a deserved 1,000 run, too. Nobody can say that, Ruud got an easy draw. Ruud didn't play Alcaraz. Who cares? He played 3 top 10 guys out of the 6 matches. And he played a guy who he had a losing record to in Cerundolo. 5-3 down in that head-to-head. So, again, you can't... And he hasn't lost a set. So if Ruud does win this title in this set, there's no... you can't take anything away from Ruud and say anything negative about his win. Even if Alcaraz didn't play or Djokovic wasn't there or Sinner, doesn't matter. He beat the guys that are in front of him and he also hasn't lost a set yet. Linda. Muhammad Liani in the chair as always. Is always a win. Yep, he is in their chair. Sorry, I don't know why they didn't say anything. And it's 15 love. 5-setters on clay is a difficult beast, Cam. Oh, I know. But I think Draper can still play. I mean, he proved that he can play 5-setters. On clay, obviously. But why are we talking about 5 sets? This is only 3 sets. No 5-setter today. 15 love. There's a bit of fault. Second serve. There's a bit of second serve. Ruud. There's a let. But Draper will win in 3 now, I reckon. All right, we'll see. Let's see how physical it is to get Draper back in this. There's a bit of serve now from Ruud in the backhand of Draper. It goes the front of Ruud. Draper backhand. Into the front of Ruud down the line. Draper gets the point. Ruud overhits it. 15-0. Ruud is 19-12 when he played 19-2. Incoming Ruud 19-2 against lefties in the last 21. Yeah. Let me have a look at the important stats, which is who comes back from a set down and blah blah blah. So Ruud on clay. When he is down, when he's up a set, when he wins the first set, is whoa. It's not Rafa, but it's not bad. 194 wins, 17 losses on clay when he wins the first set. Casper Ruud, 194 wins, 17 losses. Last time he lost from a setup was against Zverev at the French last year. But if you remember that, he got sick. After the second set, he was like totally off. So, you know, I don't know if it's food poisoning or what it ended up being. But after the first set there, he just kind of fell off physically. So there was a reason. He won a first set 6-love against Kecmanovic in Rome last year, lost the match in 3, so that's a bit disappointing. Also, Jarry came back from a set down. Runa's come back from a set down. Carreño Busta's come back from a set down. And then you have to go all the way back to like 2019 where Rublev came back from a set down against Ruud to win. I mean, a lot of these matches, if I talk about ATP only, not challenger events, we're talking 132 wins, 7 losses. at the ATP level. Only 7 players have beaten Ruud in this position. Zverev, Kecmanovic, Rune, Rublev, Jarry, and Carreño Busta. So that is what Draper has to join that list of exclusive players who are very... I mean, that's a list. I mean, he's going to be the 8th guy to do it on the ATP. That's something. That's going to be something. And when Draper loses the first set on clay, oof. Backhand goes into the forehand of Ruud. Backhand out from Draper again, the forehand of Ruud. There's Draper down the line. Ruud's got it. Goes cross court, the backhand of Draper into the forehand of Ruud. Into the backhand of Draper. Ruud. Backhand down the line. Draper gets with the backhand again to the backhand of Ruud. Into the backhand of Draper. Cross court. Ruud gets on the stretch. It's in the net. We get to deuce. Draper has only come back from a set down on clay 3 times. 3 times in his career. And only once on the ATP. On the ATP level, he's 1 win, 7 losses when he loses the first set on clay. He came back in Munich last year against a wild card, Rudolf Mollica, but he is currently on a 5-match losing streak when he loses the first set on clay, including Monte Carlo, where he lost the first set against Davidovich Fokina and lost the match. So, for Ruud, in this position on clay, nearly unstoppable. For Draper, it's new territory. He's got to do something he hasn't done against somebody this good. The only time he ever came back was against a wild card who's 179 in the world at the time. Funny enough, 3 times against Hurkacz, Draper lost the first set and lost the match on clay. Have they got like some secret rivalry that we don't even know? Is Hurkacz Draper like Sinkeraz, but not really? Have they played? Is it like it's like some secret rivalry? Yeah, they played 6 times. Really? It's crazy. 4-2 in favor of Hurkacz, but these guys are... That's interesting. Anyways, back to deuce. What set am I using? You can use this Tennis Abstract, really good for stats. That's really detailed. I use that a lot. Go check them out. Very informative. All right, advantage Ruud. Fonseca is better than Sinkeraz. Cool. Clay court expertise might end up winning after all. Well, there's definitely more expertise on the Ruud side. Sinkeraz is a new word. No, Sinkeraz has been around for about a year. It's just Sinner Alcaraz. The Sinner Alcaraz rivalry is called Sinkeraz. Like Fadal. Anyways, Ruud holds 2-1. You know what's a rivalry that we haven't seen in a while is Zverev Medvedev. Really? We haven't seen that? I thought we saw it. We've seen it recently. It's been such a big rivalry too. They played like 20 times. They played like 19 times. You're right though. We haven't seen it since the semis of Australia last year. Wow. Before that, they were playing multiple times a year. I mean, 2023, they played like 6 times. And Medvedev won most of them. But, yeah, you're right. We haven't seen them play in over a year. That's kind of wild. I guess because Medvedev hasn't been able to make the finals and Zverev's had, the inconsistencies, they've missed each other. But they might play like 4th round Rome. That might, maybe that happens. Okay. Ruud with a 2-1 lead in the second. Yeah, the only time they played was 2024, and that was that 5-setter in the Australian Open semis, where it was the epic that came back. Oh, the first epic, and then the final was the extra epic. Isn't it Ruud's first 1,000 if he wins? Yes, it is. Let me have a look. So Ruud, I want to have a look. Casper Ruud's 1,000 record, because he's made the final of a lot of 1,000s. This is Draper's second 1,000 final. Of course, what Indian was a couple of weeks ago. This is Ruud's. Is it only his third? I thought Ruud made the final of Rome. Maybe he made the semis a lot. Yeah, Ruud's he makes a lot of semi-finals at this of 1000s, but only his third final. And he's lost to the semi-finals of Rome to Djokovic and Rune in the 3 attempts. But I thought he made the final of Rome. Maybe I'm getting confused when 2020 when he lost. I mean, 2020 was a confusing time. So this is his third final and Draper's second. But the difference is one is one and the other is one none. As Draper hits a drop shot winner, 30 love. Don't think Draper has ever made a final of a big clay court tournament, and this is groundbreaking stuff. Yeah, this is the first big final he's made on clay. All right. As a return goes in the net from Ruud, 40 love. 40 love. Got ground tickets for Thursday in Rome, weather permitting. I think Thursday's supposed to be okay. Friday's the wet day. So, you should, well, fingers crossed, but as you got to return out the point of Draper and then Ruud with a backhand cross-court winner. Good angle, 40-15. Yeah, apparently Tennis Channel feed is down. I'm not watching Tennis Channel, but apparently Tennis Channel feed went down. Don't know what's going on. But I'll tell you what's going on. Pardon me, 40-15. As the return goes into the forehand of Draper. Ruud lob. Draper smash. Puts it away. 2-0. Win or lose, Draper is doing amazing things in 2025. Yeah. I mean, look, Draper fans, don't start pretending. Like, don't start. You don't need to defend this result. Like, don't think that, like, no one's saying that Draper's not good after this match if he loses. There's no one's saying that. You don't need to worry. Draper making the final, losing to Casper Ruud on a clay court. It makes sense, right? It's standard. Like, Ruud's only lost to Goats on clay in the final of French. So the guy that loses only to Goats on clay beats the guy that's not got the experience on clay. I mean, it's totally fine. Nothing, I mean, and Draper being in the final is a surprise. I know Draper fans up until the final have been excited, but like making the final for Draper is like, holy shit. On a clay court? Okay. So yeah, you don't need to worry about, if anyone's tearing down Draper after this, send them to me. I'll tell them. Anyways, 15 love. He did beat Musetti on a clay court, though, Draper, and that was a huge win. Musetti has been playing great on clay this year, so even if he loses the final, still beating Musetti was a win in that semi-final. Chat, what are the clay court rankings right now? As Ruud serves an ace, let's say Ruud wins this match. What are the clay court rankings for 2025? Are we going Alcaraz 1, Rune 2, or Ruud 2, Draper 3 or 4, and then maybe Zverev as 5? Alcaraz 1, Ruud 2, Rune 3, Draper 4, and yeah, what about Musetti though? Yeah, Musetti. Ruud with another ace, 40-15. Yeah, Musetti's got to be in there, right? He's been super consistent. So Musetti, I think maybe Musetti instead of Zverev. Zverev on Munich, but Musetti's been 2 1,000 semis in a row. I mean, that's huge. Fran 5? You don't put Draper in there? I mean, Draper and Zverev are the same. Because one made a final of 1,000 and the other won a title in Munich, but that's sort of the same points too, right? Other than that, they both haven't done much yet. Next week we'll find out. Anyways, backhand winner from Draper, 40-30. Feast? Maybe. I mean, I don't know if Feast has had... I don't know. Feast hasn't... He's played well against Alcaraz, but he hasn't... I feel like he hasn't done enough compared to the others that I mentioned. Alcaraz, Rune, Ruud, Musetti. Okay. 40-30. Ruud with a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Carlos, Ruud, Runa, Draper, Musetti, Zverev, Fran. Okay. Winner from Alcaraz. Winner from Ruud. 3-2 Ruud in the second. On serve. I would love to hear criticisms for all these young players losing their temper, just like I hear for Alcaraz every time he breathes. Yeah, but don't do that. Like the worst thing you can do is if somebody's criticizing your player is to go and start criticizing other players, because then they're going to start criticizing someone else. And it just creates this hostile, toxic cycle. You don't need anyone to tell you how good Alcaraz is. I'll tell you anyway, because he is great. But like, if anyone's like, crapping on Alcaraz or whatever, if you give it back to them, then they're going to pass it on to someone else. There's no point in doing that. You just go back and go, okay, well, my guy's got 4 slams. My guy's the youngest winner one in all time. My guy just won Monte Carlo. Like, my guy has a Netflix documentary about him. Like, there's so many things you could say as an Alcaraz fan. Instead of like coming back at the people that say bad things, just don't even worry about them. Because Alcaraz is a beast. And anyone who denies that is an idiot. All right, 3-2. Yeah, Alcaraz is playing Rome. But Madrid clay isn't normal condition slow clay. I know it's, the person who wins Madrid doesn't always go on to win the French, but it's still clay. I mean, for Draper, this final is still going to be some confidence. He's going to feel like, well, I can win on that clay, even though it's not technically the same clay. I mean, Ruud's made the final of the French, and he's made the final here, so, and he is a clay quarter, so I mean, like, it is clay, but you're right, it's not the same, but it still matters a little bit. It matters. Do you think Alcaraz will win Roland Harris? Who's Roland Harris? Great hitting there from Draper, 15 love. Cam, if there are to be 3, who would it be? Sinner, Alcaraz, Draper, Sinner, Alcaraz, Runa. There won't be a 3. You can't pick 3. That's not a thing. As Draper serves an ace, 30 love. I'll tell you why, chat. And I've said this before. This is why Big 3, trying to anoint Big 3 is so silly. Because, one, it puts pressure on the person that you put in that group. Like we said with Runa, right? We got Alcaraz, Sinner, and then Runa. Now everyone's automatically going to say Runa's not good. Because he's not as good as them. So you're setting up Runa to fail. If you say it's Draper, the second that Draper doesn't win everything, like Sinner and Alcaraz do, you're going to set him up for it. So we don't need to set, let's not put anyone in the number 3 spot because it's not fair. It's not fair. Alcaraz and there was no big 3 when Djokovic and Murray came along. It was Nadal. And then Djokovic and Murray started to put their hand up after they won slams. So we shouldn't even say there's a big 3 until somebody else wins a slam that we can actually put in that conversation because there's only 2 guys that have got all those slams. So let's not do that, right? But also, it diminishes what the big 3 was, right? The big 3 was something so unique and special that, and let's say big 4 because Murray was in that. It was a big 4. Those guys made the semis of every tournament they played together. Like, there was times where, like, it was always just like, well, who's going to finish runner-up? We all just went, let's just fast forward to the semis because we know it's going to be Nadal versus Murray and Djokovic Federer. That's what it was. It wasn't like it is now where, like, the 3 best players. No. These guys were, like, dominating where everybody else didn't even matter because nobody could even get close. Because even if you beat one of them, you had to beat the other one because they're always going to be in the finals. That's what the big 3 and big 4 was. So to say that anyone's big 3, big 4 now, I mean, there's no comparison because the only person that is doing anything like that is Sinner, where he's always making the quarterfinals or semis. Alcaraz isn't guaranteed to make the semis every time. There's no other person in the world that's number 3 then, because no one else is that consistent. Maybe Zverev, but he's too old. If you want to put him in if you want to put a new big 3, he's probably a little too old for that now. So again, it just seems silly to try and form this big 3. I know it sounds sexy and fun, but it's not realistic. Anyways, volley from Ruud in the net, love 30. So let's not say Draper, let's not say Runa, let's just let them play, and then it's a big 2. It's a big 2 right now. It's a big 2. It's a Sinkeraz. That's it. Just like it was for Nadal. Federer and Nadal in the 2000s, this is them until Djokovic came along and then Murray. Right now, it's just Sinkeraz. There is no third person. It's literally just Alcaraz, Sinner, like it was Federer and Nadal. Until somebody else goes, but I also am a winner. I want to slam too. That's like, we weren't saying big 3 when Djokovic started playing well in 2007. There was no like, Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic. No, it was Federer, Nadal, and then Djokovic, Murray. They were doing over here. They were like competitive, but they weren't the same. There's no one the same as Alcaraz Sinner right now. No one's in that same bracket. Until they start winning slams or consistently beating those guys. And then maybe we can entertain 3. But I feel like there's going to be like those 2 guys are going to dominate the decade, like Sampras versus Agassi in the 90s. But then you're going to have like your Edbergs and Beckers and Couriers, right? Who are all competitive. Guga Quirton, right? Who are not like big 3, but they're all in that conversation because you got Sampras, you got Agassi with a big 2, and then all these other guys who are very capable. That's what we're going to see, more likely. It's unlikely we're going to see 3 guys or 4 guys take everything and leave nothing for anybody else. That's unlikely. 15th to 40. Draper's about to break here. Draper is about to break. As Ruud serves. Into the back of Draper. Ruud forehand. In the back of Draper. Into the backhand of Ruud. As Draper forehand. Is a winner. Draper breaks. All right. 4-3 Draper. That kind of came out of nowhere. Ruud's not bad. I mean, he's been serving pretty well. It kind of came out of nowhere. 4-3 Draper. 4-3 Draper. Ruud let that slip. All right. Don't forget Stan, since for active players, he has a bunch of... Yeah. Stan's also in that, but he's admitted that he's not a part of a big 5. There's no big 5. In Stan, like Stan's admitted as much. But Stan was definitely a problem for the big 4. But there was no big 5. He's admitted that. There's basically not a big 4 if you want to count, it's really just the 3. Murray's stats don't stack up. I just put Murray out of respect because at the start when Murray was coming up, him and Djokovic were coming up together. It turned into a big 3 when Djokovic started getting, started like 2015, it was a big 3. But, from 2008 to 2015, it was a big 4 because there was 2 and 2. But then Djokovic 2015, that changed everything. He left Murray behind. Draper forehand back with a vengeance. Yep. Before 2011, there was no big 3. Before 2013, there wasn't a Fab 4. Yeah, it wasn't until I don't know, Fab 4 was sort of thrown around for a few years in the early 2010s. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Murray would always get grouped in with those guys because he would always make the semis as well. He just wasn't winning the titles that they were. But he was always he was always the 4th guy in the conversation for sure. Like he was not maybe not in terms of titles won, but definitely in terms of like consistency. If Roger had a 2-handed backhand, do you think he would have won more could have won more slams? I have no idea. Probably not because he wouldn't have been able to volley as well. And most of his, a bunch of his slams were, he won a bunch of stuff because he could volley and he could, like 2-handed backhands don't always have the best volleys. At least they didn't. Like look at Agassi, his volleys were not great. So he would, like 2-handed backhand for Federer, he would have lost something for that, right? It wouldn't have just been like, oh yeah, 200 backhand, plus he has all the other shots still. No, he would have lost the ability to hit backhand volleys. Maybe slice backhands wouldn't have been as good. You know, his slice backhand might not have been as effective. And towards the end of his career, we all know how important those things were, you know, in winning on grass, for example. All right, 15-all. Is it a backhand now to the forehand of Ruud? Backhand now from Draper, sliced into the forehand of Ruud. And Ruud hits an inside-out winner, 15-30. All right, no more reminiscing. We're talking about this match. Linda.
Ignore Draper at your peril, lol.
True. James, thank you for the 3 as well. Appreciate that. All right, 15-30. No more talking about Big 4, Big 3, WTA, ATP, past, whatever. We're talking about now. We're talking about the present. There's a bit of forehand in the net from Draper. Oh no. 15-40. Draper's error. And Ruud about to break straight back. 15-40. The pass is more interesting. Nah. 15-40. Serve. Into the backhand of Ruud. Return goes in, but Draper's got a smash. Puts that away. 30-40. 30-40. Still break point for Ruud to get back on serve. Is Eala playing Rome? Yes. 30-40. As he serves again, Draper into the backhand of Ruud. Return. Goes in. Draper forehand down the line. Ruud's got it. Again to the backhand of Draper. Down the line to the backhand slice of Ruud. Draper backhand cross. Ruud gets with a forehand. Again to the backhand of Draper. Ruud forehand inside out. Draper gets with a forehand cross. Ruud backhand. Down the middle. Draper backhand inside out. Slice Ruud goes in, but Draper's got an easy volley winner and it's deuce. Easy winner. And he gets to deuce. Saves the break points. By the way, Chat, Eala will be in the main draw because Krejcikova and Garcia both pulled out. So I think that promotes Eala into main draw Rome tomorrow. We'll find out tomorrow. But I think Garcia pulling out, unless Garcia is lower ranked, maybe. I'm pretty sure Eala made the entry list because of the 2 withdrawals. I'm pretty sure. I think. Anyways, advantage Draper. Unless Garcia is lower ranked, maybe I'm confused. But Draper, sorry, not Draper. Garcia, like 6 weeks ago, would have been top 50 at least. Right? Garcia's currently like 80, but... Oh no, Garcia's... Where the hell is Garcia in the rankings? Is Garcia at the top 100? $130? Anyways, Draper holds 5-3. What? But 6 weeks ago, she would have been top 100, right? Yeah, Caroline Garcia withdrew. Anyways, Eala should be main draw. Eala should be main draw. Let me check. What was her ranking 6 weeks ago, Garcia? I can't believe Garcia's dropped that much. What are we talking about? End of March? Mid-March? I swear Garcia was like top 100, top 50 but back then. Oh no, Garcia was outside the top 70. Okay, maybe not. Maybe Garcia pulling out doesn't matter. Tell us more about this match, please. I will. Love 15. Love 15. I was just answering a question. Somebody asked about Eala. I was just answering a question. Hobbs.
The real Big 4 were Bortra, Brugman, Kocic and Lacoste.
Thank you for the $12. Appreciate that. And the throwback to 1915 or something. Love 30. Love 30. Draper looking to break to win the set. Serving first in the third is going to be a huge deal. Ruud's got to hold. Avoid that fate. Remember, Draper was up 5-3 in the first set too. Remember that? Me neither. Serve. And the forehand of Draper. Return goes to the forehand of Ruud. Ruud hits a wide. Oof, yuck. Love 40. Love 40. Draper with the 3-set points to take us to a third. Love 40. Yeah, Ruud's dropped off the last few games. Love 40. 7 to the forehand of Draper. Forehand of Ruud is a winner. Jeez, he hit that hard. 15-40. He hit that really hard. I don't know why he hit that so hard. 15-40. As Draper serves, Ruud serves again. Draper's got set point number 2. 15-40. 7 to the back of Draper. Return goes to the front of Ruud. Drop shot is very nice by Ruud.
Unbelievable.
30-40. 30-40. Still a chance for for Draper to take the second set to go to a third. Break point, set point, third, set point. First there's a fault, second serve. Second serve. Second serve into the forehand of Draper. Return goes into the forehand of Ruud. Draper, backhand. Into the forehand of Ruud on the stretch. He hits it out. We're going 3, baby. Madrid final is delivering the match of the tournament, maybe. Depends on this final set. But here we go. Draper recovers well. Kind of ran away after 3-0. We just flew past. It was 3-0. It was cruising. We're just like, oh yeah, ticking along. And then all of a sudden Draper went, I'm out of here. All right, 6-3. 6-3. Draper's going to serve first in the third as well. All right. Here we go. Here we go. That set, by the way, whoa, Draper was untouchable. Ruud, 15 winners, 14 errors. Draper, 12 winners, 1 error. Those stats are bonkers. 12 winners, 1 error. And it was a forehand error. That was it. Wow. That's probably the best set of tennis I've ever played. That was insane. 1 error? Ruud played okay. I mean, he was about 50-50, but that is like 15 winners and 14 errors. Not bad by Ruud. That's okay. Not ideal, but it's all right. But Draper, okay. Stingy much? Jeez. 12 winners, 1 error. Yeah, no charity. Damn. You're just going for Draper because he's an Englishman. Bro, I'm Australian. What do you mean? English? He's English, and so I'm going for Draper. What are you talking about? Actually, no, stick around because people that like Draper think I don't like Draper. So can you stay and tell the Draper fans that, please? Tell the Draper fans. Tell the Draper fans how much because I need them, because they won't believe me. So if you tell them, then maybe they'll believe you. So stick around and tell them. Tell them that, please. I need that. Please, help me. All right, Draper's going to serve first in the third. This is going to be interesting now. Draper should have won the first, but he wins the second, so it doesn't matter. All right, 6-3. 1.5 hours played. Not the longest match on clay. It's been pretty quick, to be honest. Will Draper be number 4 if he wins? No. but he could be number 4 at the French. I've got to hear a crikey. So what is it, 2001? What are we talking about? All right. Draper serves. If the only thing you know about Australia is Steve Irwin, I mean, bloody hell. There's a forehand now inside out from Draper to the forehand of Ruud. Draper backhand down the line. Ruud's there with a backhand cross. Draper gets with a forehand into the forehand of Ruud. Ruud in the net. 15 love. 15 love. You studied in England? No, I lived in England. It's a difference. I drank a lot in England. I drank and I worked in England. I traveled in England. I didn't actually drink that much. I traveled though, out of England. I lived in Europe. Anyways, in the net from Draper, 15-0. And if you heard all the shit that I had to deal with at work, being an Australian in England, during a cricket season, you would have thought, shit, you should be anti-England. Because I got shit, especially in 2015, that Ashes series, when we went all out for like 20, and every wicket, hey Cam, they got another wicket. Shut the hell up. Shut up. Great drop shot from Ruud, 15-30. You would have thought I left there and never go back. But no. No. Well, I haven't gone back, but I would go back if it's just too far away. Okay. 15-30, Ruud with a chance to break. 15-30. Served in the tees, an ace. Woo! Draper, 30-all. 30-all. I remember traveling in Beijing, meeting 3 Aussies. The cricket rugby banter was insane. Fair enough. 30-all. As a default second serve. At least they spoke to you. Why wouldn't they speak to me? That'd be rude. Second serve ace by Draper. Okay.
This is going to be on
Bit of a kick serve out wide that Ruud was thinking was going the other way. Are you still streaming all of Draper's matches in Rome? No, because he beat Arnaldi. No. It was, if Arnaldi beats Draper, I will watch every match that Draper plays in Rome. And he beat Arnaldi, so it doesn't matter. If he lost, I would have, we would have. We still might. But it wasn't if Draper wins a title, I'll be watching him forever. That wasn't the deal. Drop shot Draper. Ruud slice. Draper backhand. Ruud with a volley. Winner. Good hustle by Ruud.
Unbelievable.
Deuce. Thanks, Leon. You didn't believe in Draper during Wimbledon 2024. He lost in the first round to Cam Norrie. I was right. I was correct. He lost to Cam Norrie in the first round. 2024 Wimbledon, Draper lost in the first round. I was right. Of course I didn't believe in him. And I was right. All right, Deuce. As with a backhand from Ruud goes into the sky and out. Advantage Draper. He goes into the flowers. They're trying to find it. The ball models. Trying to find the ball. Couldn't find it. Fired. Advantage Draper. Sorry, second round. Oh, my bad. He lost in the second round to Norrie. Anyways, advantage Draper. Advantage Draper to go to 1-love in this third set. So with the forehand of Ruud. Forehand from Draper. Into the forehand of Ruud. Into the backhand of Draper's. Ruud runs around, hits a forehand inside out. That's a good shot. Draper's there with a slice. Ruud, forehand. Into the backhand of Draper. Passing shot's too good. One love, Draper. One love, Draper. Does coffee grow in Australia? Probably. Maybe. I generally want Ruud to do well because he is so underestimated, but come on, Draper. Okay. You will miss Medi until US Open, dude. What do you mean? All right, one love, Draper. Final set. Ruud serving second in the final set. The serve in the net from Ruud, second serve. Second serve, Ruud. Draper returns a forehand into the forehand of Ruud. Down the line's a winner by Ruud, and it's 15 love. 15 love. I slept for 9 hours. Jeez. Wish I could do that. 15 love. Ruud serves again. Serve is a fault. Second serve. Serve to the forehand of Draper. Return goes to the forehand of Ruud. Draper. Down the line. Ruud's on the stretch. Puts up a lob. But it's not going to make it. And it's 15-all. 15-all. Serve again. Serve is a fault. Second serve. Second serve, the backhand of Draper. Return goes into the forehand of Ruud. Draper backhand on the stretch. Goes long. 30-15. 30-15. By the way, chat, who has seen the Thunderbolts? No spoilers. But who has seen the Thunderbolts? 30-15. I'm not going to give any spoilers either because I know how important that is. First serve is a fault, second serve. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Draper. Return goes in the forehand of Ruud. Draper backhand. Into the forehand of Ruud. The forehand of Draper is Ruud. Forehand down the line. Draper gets over the backhand. Cross. Ruud goes down the line with the forehand. Into the forehand of Draper. Into the forehand of Ruud again. Draper now open court backhand, but he's going to hit it high. Into the forehand of Ruud, who puts it away. 40-15. It is peak. It is. I would say that the Thunderbolts is the best movie, the best Marvel movie since Guardians 3. It's on that like it's a good one. It's a great movie. At no point was I bored, and it is an ace by Ruud out wide. All right, 1-1. Great movie. Go see it. If you like Marvel and you like me and you haven't been like keeping up to date because the last couple of movies have kind of been like meh, this one will get you back into it. Like if you thought that like, you know, the last Captain America movie was kind of whatever and, you know, you're not been watching Marvel much because it's kind of a bit, you know, confusing. This is back to like Marvel 2018, 2017. Like this is like classic Marvel. This is. Thunderbolts is back to what Marvel. It feels like old Marvel. If it can be old. It has a great message, purpose, connective stories. All the classic Marvel things that we love. All right, return goes in there from Ruud and it's 15-all. Go watch it. I'm not going to give any spoilers. You go watch it. And if anyone spoils in the chat, I'm going to lose it. So don't even try. All right, 15-all. Winter Soldier is my favorite movie. It has got a lot of like Captain America's Winter Soldier kind of vibes too. I wouldn't say it's as good as that, but it's definitely got like that kind of vibe. Glad you liked the movie. It was great. So good. I'm going to find out from Draper. Ruud with the slice. Draper comes in and hits it wide. 30. 15-30. People drinking rich people water. Every time. I bought the bottle once. I drank the water inside and I refilled the bottle. This has been going on for at least 12 months. Same bottle, tap water, 12 months. I bought the bottle. I bought the drink for the bottle to refill. I bought a $7 bottle of water so I could use the bottle for 12 months. That's what this is. This has not got the same water as I bought it 12 months ago. That'd be crazy. Anyway, serve and volley Draper is 30-all. Crazy. $300 shirt. I bought this on eBay secondhand for like $13. It's a thrifted shirt. 30-all. Chat, you should know by now. This is crazy. 30-all. Serve. Into the forehand of Ruud. Return goes to the backhand of Draper. Ruud with a forehand cross court again to the backhand of Draper. As Ruud forehand again to the backhand of Draper. Into the forehand of Ruud. There's Draper. Back into the line in the net. Ruud's got a break point. 30-40. $500 glasses. You can all get stuffed. They're not even close. Not even close. You think I would spend $500 on glasses? That is crazy. That is crazy. Even if you needed like prescription glasses, you wouldn't spend $500. That's crazy. Aren't you sponsored? No. Sponsored by who? Nobody. $5,000 haircut. Yeah, okay. Nobody's going to believe that. 30-40. Every time I get a haircut, it's like, wow, did they finish the job? Wow, what happened to your hair? Somebody attacked you. Like, nobody ever compliments my haircuts. It's always the same. What the hell happened to you? You think I would spend $500 to get made fun of? 30-40. Break point. Shut up, chat. We'll get back to the match. Forehand inside out from Draper. Ruud gets it, but hits it in the net. Deuce. Deuce. $10,000 couch. Not even true. $500 couch paid by chat. Donated by chat. Facial conditioning 135. No, this is just called genetics. All right, Deuce. Shoes.
Just an idea. Can we do a fan vote on a match at the big tournaments?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by fan vote? Thank you for the 5. What do you mean by fan vote on a match at the big tournament? What do you mean by fan vote? Advantage Draper. Advantage Draper. As the return goes in, the backhand of Draper. Backhand now goes out by Draper. We're back to Deuce. We get to Deuce. Chat, we're going to lock in. This is the final set of a 1,000. Lock in. Deuce. As Draper serves. There's a fault. Second serve. Serve into the forehand of Ruud. Into that Draper backhand. Ruud slice on the stretch, goes in the net. Advantage Draper. Advantage Draper. Advantage Draper. Serve. There's a fault. Second serve is a double fault. Back to deuce. Man, Draper's looking a little nervous. We get to deuce. We get to deuce. Serve again from Draper. Into the backhand of Ruud, return to the forehand of Draper. He puts away the winner, advantage Draper. The Thunderbolts movie follows a team of anti-heroes. Yes. Okay. So you just copy and pasted that off Google? Don't put spoilers in the chat even if it's a copy and paste off Google, right? Advantage Draper to go to 2-1. Go watch the movie if you want to watch it. Don't spoil it for people that want to watch it, though. Backhand slice on the stretch from Ruud. Draper, forehand. As Ruud gets on the stretch, Draper runs around a backhand, hits a forehand inside out, but Ruud's right there. Now Draper's in trouble. As Ruud hits a forehand cross, now Draper's back in the rally. Ruud forehand inside out. Draper's got it with a forehand down the line. Wide. Deuce. Back to deuce. Back to deuce. Oop. See ya. Somebody didn't get the message. Dude, did you not hear I said no spoilers? And bro came in here and just was like, I want to tell everybody about the whole thing. You will get kicked out. We do not tolerate spoilers. Yeah, bro, you're out for... Actually, you know what? You're the worst. You're out for a day. You come back tomorrow and be better. That's crazy. That's crazy what you said. You literally ruined it for everybody. You literally hopefully chat. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That person is not allowed back. As we got rid of it, so hopefully nobody saw anything. But that is the worst. That person did the exact thing that I said don't do, and they did it they kept doing it. If you're watching this, don't do that, and don't come back if you're going to do that, because that's crazy. You are ruining the chat. You ruined it. Thank you, mods, though, for getting that, because that was crazy. Anyways, advantage Ruud, and that goes in from Draper, and he gets back to deuce. That was so disrespectful to people that want to watch that movie. So hopefully nobody saw it. That was so bad. That was terrible. Lucky I saw it, otherwise I would have lost my shit. I've seen the movie, so I don't. You're only telling me things I saw, but people in the chat that haven't seen it. That was so rude for you to do that. God, now I'm pissed. All right, deuce. As the return goes into the backhand of Draper, forehand from Ruud. Into the backhand of Draper is Ruud backhand. Into the forehand of Draper, again to the forehand of Ruud. As Draper backhand cross. Into the slice of Ruud. Draper goes down the middle. Ruud backhand. Into the backhand of Draper is Ruud forehand again. Into the backhand of Draper. Ruud with a backhand cross. Draper gets it and hits it long. Advantage Ruud. Why are we even discussing a movie while a final is going on? Because we are not one-dimensional creatures. Advantage Ruud. Advantage Ruud. To get the break early in the final set. Can you answer my question, Cam? I don't understand your question. Hey, Lexi, thank you for the 5 gifted. Thank you for gifting memberships to Carrie, Sahar, Hikari, as Draper hits an ace and gets back to deuce. Renate and also Christian. Appreciate that. I didn't understand your question. I don't know what you were trying to say. Like, what do you mean by vote for matches? I don't get it. All right, 10-minute game, by the way. This is a marathon for Draper. All right, deuce. As we return now from Ruud and the forehand of Draper. Ruud. Inside out forehand to the backhand of Draper. Into the forehand of Ruud as Draper forehand on the stretch. Ruud. Forehand inside out goes long. Advantage Draper. Advantage Draper. Advantage Draper. To get the lead. To get the lead back. Serve Draper. Draper serves. Ruud returns, but it's out. 2-1 Draper. Solid, tough hold. Solid is not the word. Tough. Tough hold. Okay. Draper, 2-1 final set. 23-minute final set already. That last game was 11 minutes. Draper doesn't have the stamina for long matches, but we'll find out. This will be the test. All right. How we doing, chat? What's going on? He got a time violation, did he? Okay. That sucks. Draper needs to be careful due to his stamina, but he has improved. Yeah. Well, he said in the first that he didn't have any energy, so he found energy, obviously, after the first set, but I didn't see anything in the chat. All rude people are welcome to go elsewhere. Yeah. He better not go against Carlos or in RG. Who's that? The 5-set matches at the AO help Draper. Yeah, for sure. If anything, with confidence that he can play these kind of matches, you know? Has Draper stopped being sick now in matches? Yeah, as far as I know. I haven't seen him throw up in a minute, so... Carlos will beat both of these guys at RG. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Back to Ruud. 24 minutes played final set. Okay. Ruud serves. Ruud with a serve. 2-1 Draper. As Ruud with a forehand is a drop shot and it's a winner. 15 love. 15 love. Lovely drop shot winner. Love. And Ruud serves again. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. To the backhand of Draper. Ruud backhand. To the backhand of Draper. Cross court the forehand of Ruud. Draper backhand. Into the backhand of Ruud. Cross into the forehand of Draper. Ruud forehand into the backhand again of Draper, who hits an inside-out winner. Beautiful shot by Draper. 15-all. 15-all. 5K.
Hope free all is well. Much love, my brother. Remember, there are only two ways of arguing with a woman. Neither way works. Great to see you. Justin and Carla at 5 at tennis.
Hey, shout out to Justin and Carla. Thanks for the 10. Appreciate that. Good to see you. We haven't seen you in the chat for ages. Love 5K. Go check out 5K Tennis if you haven't already. Friends of the channel for years. Almost the entire channel history. We've known one another. All right, 15-all. Is it a backhand now? Ruud down the line. The backhand of Draper. Ruud with a half volley pickup. But Draper's got a forehand and Ruud can't handle the volley. 15-30. And thank you, Fly, for the 28 months. Appreciate that. All right. 15-30. 15-30. Serve again. There's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Big chance here for Draper. $15-30. As Ruud serves in the backhand of Draper. Return the fault of Ruud. Draper backhand. Again, the Ruud forehand as Draper down the line. Ruud goes to the forehand cross. Draper's got it with the backhand off the tape. And then Ruud hits a winner down the line. 30-all. Our club has been busy. 3 tournaments, events a month, leaves little time. Wow. Must be doing well then. That's awesome. We stream you a lot at the Club of Speakers. Well, shout out to everyone at 5K Tennis. That's listening. If you're listening now. 3 tournaments, events a month. That's super busy. But busy is good. 30-all is Ruud serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Double fault. Okay. Breakpoint Draper, 30-40. 30-40. 30-40. Serve again. Into the backhand of Draper. Return goes to the front of Ruud. Draper backhand. Into the net. We get the deuce. We get the deuce. Hubs.
Cam, this is bigger. One of these 2 players is going to win this tournament. Unbelievable.
Correct. Thank you for the 12. You didn't need to do that. You already donated enough. Thank you for the 12 again. All right, we get the deuce. These games are nerve-wracking. They've been a long couple of games. As Ruud gets a forehand in, it's out. Advantage Draper. Advantage Draper to get the break in the final set. Hey, thank you, Goats, for the 30 months. Appreciate it. Advantage Draper. As Ruud serves. And Draper returns in the net. Lovely save by Ruud. Deuce. We get to deuce. All right, serve again by Ruud. As we default, second serve. Yeah, don't put scores in the chat. It's annoying. As we default, second serve. As a return from Draper goes wide. Advantage Ruud. Advantage Ruud. 2 hours played, by the way. Advantage Ruud. To level the final set. Serve to the front of Draper. Return goes to the front of Ruud. And he puts it away. 2-all. The last 2 games have been massive, but both guys have held. 2 games all. Okay. Adam.
I think this has been the best final so far in 2025.
Ooh. All right. I mean, maybe. You might be right. You might be right. After this game, we'll do a bit of a comparison. We'll compare it to all the finals so far this year on the men's side. On the women's, obviously, WTA's had pretty epic finals. But on the ATP, it might be the best ATP final of the year. You're right. It might be. As a backhand return from Ruud. Into the forehand of Draper. Ruud runs around into forehand into the backhand of Draper. Again, the forehand of Ruud. Draper backhand. Into the forehand of Ruud. Again to the backhand of Draper. But Ruud hit it out. 15 love. Definitely the best 1,000 final of the year. All right, 15 love. Serve out wide the backhand of Ruud. Volley Draper easy winner. 30 love. $30 love. Why is using emojis considered spam? Because it clogs the chat. I look at the chat and I just see a bunch of random faces or whatever. It just ruins the chat. You can use I think up to 5, but if you use 20, it's annoying. I mean, how many emojis do you need to use to convey your emotions? You know what I mean? Ruud hits a winner, 30-15. If I look at the chat and it's just then I miss out on other people's text. All right, 30-15. As Draper serves again. Trying to stay in front. As it a point now from Draper. That goes out. 30 all. 30 all. All right, 30 all. Draper serves again. This is a huge game again. Both guys have struggled on serve. Serving to the backhand of Ruud. Return goes in the front of Draper. And Draper hits it long. 30-40. Do you ever use YouTube tennis coaches? What, for my personal game? Not really. I mean, because I don't really play, so... but there are definitely some really good YouTube tennis coaches for sure, or at least tennis coaches that do YouTube because they're tennis coaches first. They're not YouTubers and then they decide to learn tennis. They're tennis first. As with a 30-40 backhand return from Ruud goes to the front of Draper. Ruud can't get that one. Draper puts it away. Deuce. Essential tennis. Ian, great. Yeah, intuitive tennis is great as well. I listen to intuitive tennis for some of the takes on big issues in tennis, just to kind of, because I talk a lot, so it's nice to hear somebody else talk about certain things in tennis. But yeah, tennis spin's great if you want to learn about rackets and strings and more technology, technical stuff with the rackets. Tennis spin's really good for that. As with a backhand slice from Ruud, deuce. As with a volley from Ruud, Draper gets it, but Ruud gets it. Volley in the open court, Draper's fallen down. Draper's down on one knee. He's okay. I think he might have slipped, but he collapsed a little bit. Advantage Ruud. Oh yeah, Gil's great. Yeah, Gil's great for analysis too. All right, advantage Ruud to get the break in this final set. I think Draper might have I think his leg just sort of gave way when he landed. I think maybe his left thigh that's been strapped up just kind of fell off. And his backhand return from Ruud, that's a moon ball. Goes in the front of Draper. Front of Ruud, into the backhand of Draper, down the line to the backhand of Ruud. It's Draper, backhand again. Goes wide, Ruud breaks first in the final set. 3-2. Casper Ruud. 3-2. All right, so best final. Is this becoming the best final of 2025 on the men's side? Let's start with the big one. Australian Open final, not even close. That final was so one-sided. Second set was interesting, but not really. This one's definitely better than that. Let's talk about Indian Wells. Straight sets, Draper, easy. Miami was pretty good. Miami was probably the best, but this is 3 sets, so it probably takes over that one. Alcaraz and Musetti Monte Carlo, it was good for the first set, but after that, Musetti couldn't play. Let's talk about 500s. Runa in Barcelona. Alcaraz wasn't fit. Zverev beat Shelton in Munich pretty easily. Acapulco final, it was okay. Tsitsipas beats FA in Dubai pretty easily. Rio was easy. Doha was close with Draper and Rublev. Everybody forgot that. Well, not the Draper fans. 7-5, 5-7, 6-1. That was all right. Rotterdam final was 3 sets with De Minaur and Alcaraz. That was pretty good. Dallas final was okay. I still think this one's better. So, yeah, I would say that it's probably the best big final. I mean, if we want to go down to 250 level, let me check. Probably Montpellier with FAA going to a tiebreak third set, beating Kavasevic, maybe was better. Kecmanovic for Kina and Delray Beach, 7-5 third set might be better than this. But again, the stakes weren't as high. Santiago was 7-5 third set, Jarrah beating Baez, but again, the stakes aren't as high as this one. So there have been better finals on the ATP, but not the stakes are way higher here, and obviously two guys that are, you know, two very high ranked guys. So yeah, I mean, it depends on this final set. If Ruud wins at 6-2 and it kind of fizzles out, then who knows? But if Draper keeps hitting drop shots like that and it becomes a tiebreak or something, we're going to get some craziness. Lovely drop shot, love 15. Goats.
Go Casper.
And thank you, Goats, for the 5, and thank you, Rook, for the 27 months. Okay. Love 15. Yeah, if Casper wins this title, it's the biggest trophy of his career. As the return goes in the forehand of Ruud, backhand from Draper goes long. 15 all. Jane, thank you for the $2. Appreciate that as well. 15 all. What's the best final in the WTA so far? Australian Open. Australian Open final. 15 all. Return goes into the net from Draper. 30-15. 30-15. Serve again. Into the form of Draper. Draper in the net. 40-15. 40-15. To consolidate the break, Ruud, final set. 40-15. As the return goes back into Ruud. Backhand from Draper to the forehand of Ruud to the backhand of Draper. As Ruud again to the Draper backhand. He hits it in the net. 4-2 Ruud. Final set. 4-2 Ruud. 41 minutes final set, by the way. Marathon final set. Okay. Back to Draper. Draper serves a fault. Second serve. Serves a double fault. Love 15. Love 15. All right, Draper serves again. There's a return now from Ruud in the forehand of Draper. It's a great shot. Ruud gets on the stretch. Draper with a smash. Ruud puts up another lob, but it's out. 15-all. 15-all. Draper serves again. And what a final. It's been a great final. I mean, Draper in the second set was ridiculous. The way he played. As with a backhand return now to the forehand of Draper. Forehand now from Ruud into the backhand of Draper to the backhand of Ruud on the stretch. Draper, forehand cross. Ruud gets it with the backhand into the forehand of Draper on the stretch. Ruud with a slice. Draper's there. Backhand cross-court winner by Draper. 30-15, and he's like, let's go. He's getting the crowd up and about. 30-15. 30-15. What a shot. Yep. Crazy backhand winner. 30-15. 3 finals this year is excellent for Draper. Impressed? Oh, yeah. 2 of those being 1,000 finals is crazy. I mean, it's no wonder he's number 4. Number 5. By the way, Draper just got a time violation. Oh, don't you hate this? When they get involved when you don't... Like, umpire, nobody asked. Nobody asked. Draper's knackered. Let him serve a second later. Did he lose a first serve? It's a second serve, 30-15. This is crazy. Second serve, Draper. Into the backhand of Ruud. Return goes in the forehand of Draper. As Ruud backhand. Again to the forehand of Draper. Down the line goes long. 30-all. God, it's the final set of a final. And it's 30-15 after a long rally. Come on. You got to give him a little extra time. We don't need to start time violating people in the split second that it happens. At this point, just let him play. Let him have a second longer. First serve's a fault, second serve. Serve into the forehand of Ruud. Backhand from Draper. Into the forehand of Ruud on the stretch. Draper backhand down the line. Goes wide. Ruud 30-40. And you feel like maybe Draper's a little rattled. He's just kind of rushing things a little bit now. 30-40. Please don't put scores in the chat. That's really annoying. 30-40. Ruud for a double break and to serve for his first ever Masters 1000 title. 30-40. First serve's a fault by Draper. Second serve. Second serve. Goes into the forehand of Ruud. Draper backhand down the middle. Ruud's going to get there with a forehand to the backhand of Draper. Now Ruud's backhand goes wide. Deuce. We get to deuce. We get to deuce. As Draper serves. Into the forehand of Ruud. Return goes down the line to the forehand of Draper. Ruud, backhand. Is into the backhand of Draper. Cross court's good to the forehand of Ruud. Draper slice. Goes in. Ruud runs around his backhand and hits an inside-out forehand, but it's out. That was a wild shot by Ruud. And he's not happy about it either. Ruud's not happy. Advantage, Draper. By the way, chat, not enough has been said about Ruud and his relationship with his coach, aka his dad. We always talk about when the coach-player relationship is father-son or parent-kid. Not enough is said about when it's a positive thing. As a backhand return, into the backhand of Draper, that's a winner. 4-3, Draper hangs on. Not enough is said when it's a successful, harmonious relationship. We talk a lot about the bad ones, because there are some bad ones. There have been bad ones, right? We all know the bad ones. But not enough is praised when it's a good one. And this is a great one. Ruud and his dad, great combo. Just like Shelton and his dad, great combo. You know? They've made 3 Grand Slam finals together, world number 2, right? One of the most successful father-son combinations in recent history that I can remember. Chat, give me another father-son tennis coaching relationship that's been good in recent times. I'm trying to think. I mean, Tony and Rafa Nadal, I know that's uncle nephew, but that was a family dynamic. Zverev and his dad. Yep. Zverev and his dad. I mean, Tsitsipas and his dad, they had success too. Yep. Even though, they're parted ways, and obviously Goran's coming in after the French. Peter Corder and Seb Corder. Yeah, that's a good one too. Ben and his dad, 100%. Who else, chat? The Williams sisters. Yeah, and Richard. Yep. Who else? Who else in like the last few years? I mean, I don't think enough is given. And Andy Roddick says this about Sharapova and her dad, Yuri. Like to start with, that was a good combination. You know, he was there and he was part of that. Murray, yeah, I mean Murray and Judy Murray coming in, and she was coaching Bill. Okay, Bill Murray. Yeah, I mean that was a good combination. Wozniacki, was she coached by her dad? Okay, Kaboli's coached by his dad. Oh, I didn't know that. Coco, yeah, Coco Gauff. Coco Gauff, she was coached by her dad early days. True, that is true. I forgot about that. Forgot about Coco. He's not even there anymore. He doesn't sit in the box anymore. Anyways, 4-3, Ruud with a break. There's a bit of fault from Ruud, second serve. Kenan and her dad, yeah, true, they won a slam together. So the serve out wide, the backhand of Draper. Ruud with a forehand down the line is good. Draper gets it though, but hits it in the net. 15 love. 15 love. Serve again. Serve is a let. Layla, yeah. Fernandez and her dad, yeah. He coaches her. Yep. True. All right, 15 love as Ruud serves again. 4-3. Ruud serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. The backhand of Draper. Return goes to the front of Ruud. Draper backhand. Again to the front of Ruud into the backhand of Draper. Ruud backhand on the stretch is a slice. Cross court in the front of Draper. Ruud backhand again. Down the line. Draper gets it with a cross court backhand in the front of Ruud. Drop shots. Good by Ruud. Draper gets there, but it's in the net. 30 love. 30 love. Dirty love. Keys and her husband, true. 30 love. As Ruud serves again. There's a fault. Second serve. Chat, Ruud is 6 points away from the biggest trophy of his career. And there's a bit of double fault. All right. 30-15. Serve again. Into the backhand of Draper. Forehand from Ruud. Again, the backhand of Draper. Into the forehand of Ruud is Draper backhand. Again, that Ruud forehand is Draper. Backhand again. Ruud's got another forehand into the backhand of Draper. It's out by Ruud. 30-all. Here's a chance. 30-all. As she serves a fault, Ruud. Second serve. Second serve. As return goes into the forehand of Draper, Ruud. Backhand of Draper across court. Ruud gets it. Into the backhand of Draper down the line. But it faded wide and Draper can't believe it. He's asking the umpire, but the umpire's not going to come out of the chair because Hawkeye makes the calls. And Muhammad Liani is a stickler for the rules. He ain't moving. The ball did fade. And it's 40-30. Muhammad Liani is glued to that chair. He said earlier this week, I think it was Zverev, was like, get out of the chair and check the mark. And he's like, I'm not allowed to move. He physically cannot move from that chair. He is stuck to the chair. He is stuck on that chair. 40-30. Serving to the backhand of Draper. Forehand now from Ruud in the backhand of Draper. Down the line of the backhand of Ruud. Draper slice. Ruud runs around. Hits an inside out forehand. Draper gets it. Hits it long. And it's 5-3. Ruud. Final set. 5-3. 5-3. Ruud. This final set's almost taken an hour. Draper serving to stay in the match. 5-3. Not even his father has won a title? Who's that? You mean Christian Ruud? Casper's dad? As the return goes to forehand of Draper, Draper hits a winner in the corner. Nice. 15-love. That hit the line. 15-love. By the way, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Rome starts Tuesday. Draw comes out tomorrow. Serving to the forehand of Ruud, return goes to forehand of Draper. That's a winner. 30-love. Draper ripping forehands. Also, Rome is at 700 likes, so thank you for that as well. Appreciate it. Hey, Donna, thank you for the 5. As Draper serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve into the backhand of Ruud. Ruud hits it wide. 40-love. 40-love. To make Ruud serve for this title. 1 minute game. Draper serves. A fault. Second serve. Where's my dog? Right there. Serve in the backhand of Ruud. Return to the front of Draper. Ruud can't get that one. Draper ripping forehands in that game. Okay. Draper holds. Ruud is serving for the match, the title, to take his biggest trophy in his career. Okay. Casper is the only Norwegian player to ever have won a title. Yeah, is that? I think that's true, right? I mean, in singles, right?
I mean,
Peter.
if Ruud wins this title, he would fill the last missing puzzle like the last player who was in top 10 for a long time without 1,000 Masters.
True. Good point. If I have a look at the top 10 now, the only players that don't have a 1,000 that are in the top 10 currently, De Minaur, Musetti, and then if you want to go with players that have been in the top 10 that haven't got a 1,000, you're talking about someone like a Tiafo who's dropped down the ranks, lately. And then, Ruud. Ruud is the one who's, he's done so much, but, I mean, last year it was about winning 500. This year, trying to get that elusive 1,000 trophy. By the way, if he does win this next game, he'll be number 7 in the world again. So he's gone from number, 18 to number 7 with one big trophy. So there you go. So there's only a couple of players now in the top 10, but they're, obviously De Minaur made some finals. Musetti's not too far away. We all expect him to win one. But yeah, you're right. Ruud, out of all the guys from his kind of class, if you want to call that, generation, he is missing that. Rublev's got one. Medvedev's got some. Also, Rublev's got a couple. Zverev's got them. Obviously, Sinner and Alcaraz, but they're sort of below, lower ranked. Runa's got one. Oh, sorry, not lower ranked, lower age. As Ruud hits a winner, 15-love. 3 points away. 3 points away. 15-love. 15-love. In a 2.5-hour match. 15-love. He serves again. Down the tee. Draper returns in the net. 30-love. Nerves of steel. 30 love. He serves again. Into the backhand of Draper. Return is in to the forehand of Ruud. As Draper forehand on the stretch. Into that Ruud forehand as Draper backhand cross. Ruud's got it. Again to the backhand of Draper. Ruud. Forehand again to the backhand of Draper who goes down the line. It's in. To the backhand of Ruud. Now Draper forehand goes down the line. Ruud gets it with the cross-court forehand. Draper backhand again to the forehand of Ruud. Who smokes it down the line. And Ruud has got 3 championship points to win the biggest trophy of his career. He's made Grand Slam finals. He broke that 500 curse last year. And he's got 3 chances to take home a big trophy in Madrid. One of the princes of clay. Ruud with a serve. Championship points. He serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve into the forehand of Draper. Return to the backhand of Ruud. Draper, backhand. Into the forehand of Ruud. Again to the backhand of Draper. Ruud. Forehand again. Draper's defending. As Ruud forehand again to the backhand of Draper. Into the forehand of Ruud on the stretch. He goes down the line. Slice. Goes wide by Draper. Casper Ruud, a prince of clay, wins the biggest clay court trophy of his career. No more is he a 250 merchant. We haven't heard that for at least a year. Nobody's been saying that for a year. Now nobody can say it. The man has got a 1,000 trophy. He got one of the big ones now. He is a clay court beast. None of this merchant bullshit. None of this 250 bullshit. He is in that club. He joins the 1,000 club. Casper Ruud is the champion. He beats Draper in that final in a very, very fun final. GG's. He hit 7 double faults as well, Ruud. Despite that, he still won. All right. Man, what a final. Possibly one of the best finals we've seen on the ATP this year. But man, great win by Ruud. Love that. I think, look, players with no haters, Casper Ruud. He's definitely on that. He's definitely one of those players. No, I mean, how can you not like him? Even if you're going for Draper, you got to be like, look, he's all right. You got to feel a little happy for him. It's like when Rublev won Monte Carlo a couple of years ago. Has that same kind of like, yes, good for you. Finally, you get it. Let's go. Yeah, nice guy, Casper. Exactly. Love that for Ruud. Love it for Ruud. Now he's going to Rome and Roland Garros. Let's see what he can do there. But man, love that. And you would have thought, like, out of all the Masters on clay, this one might have been the hardest because it's the fastest court. But man, what a win! What a win! Goats, thank you for the $1.
Great job by the great Viking. It's not just the football world that has a phenomenal CR.
Hey, thank you, Babak, for the donation as well. Goats.
Good job, Casper.
Hey, thank you, Goats, for the 5. Appreciate that. Jay.
LFG Casper, the man finally did it, and on his beloved clay. So freaking happy for him.
Yep.
Vamos, Casper. Thanks, Cam.
No worries. Thank you, Jay, for the $3. And Casper Fandom.
OMG, finally, loudy.
I don't know what that is. Thank you so much for the $30. $32 from Casper Fandom. You've waited a long time for this one. Long time for this one. Casper Ruud, the champion of a 1,000 trophy. Finally a great 1,000 win. That's it. He's only been in the final twice before, and he lost to Alcaraz in one, and he lost to Tsitsipas in the other. So great to see. But hey, Draper fans, still be impressed because Draper had a great week. Beating Musetti in the semis was huge. And maybe experience on clay won out, but Draper gained a lot of experience this week. I know Madrid's not the same as Roland Garros, but clay to him should be clay. So For him, clay court results, doesn't matter where it is, what it is. If it's dirt, it's good for Draper. So he'll be going to Rome next week with definitely feeling like he can play on clay now after this week. This will give him that confidence that he can play on clay. It's his best result on clay ever, Draper. First clay court final as well. Hey, thank you, Krista, for the $10. Appreciate that. All right. Man, oh man. Whew. I actually screamed on the street. Well, hopefully nobody got frightened. Will Casper get back in the top 10 after this? Yep, he'll be number 7 in the world. 7 in the world after that. I thought Draper was going to beat Ruud based off his week, how he handled Musetti on Friday. Yeah. But no, Ruud is a clay quarter. Like, his best results are on clay. And he is one of the top players on clay. I mean, this year he might be the second best player on clay this year, right? Over the last 5 years, he's got to be top 5 best clay court players. You know? So again, nothing against Draper. He came up against one of the best clay court players in the world. And he pushed him to 3. I mean, that's impressive in itself for Draper. To match it with one of the best clay quarters. This is emotional for him, especially as he has been struggling mentally. Yeah. After the comments he made during the week about how he was lost and he was feeling like he was on a treadmill, on a hamster wheel, and he was saying that, he wasn't enjoying the training and enjoying the tennis. To go from, admitting that, and showing that side of him, he could have kept that inside and not told anyone, but he decided to, tell people about that and then to talk to somebody about it and try and find that joy again. And now he's won the biggest trophy of his career. So, I mean, there you go. Who doesn't like Ruud? He has no haters? Exactly. 100%. Happy 22nd birthday to Carlos. Really? It's Alcaraz's birthday? Ruud to win a Grand Slam 2026? I don't know. I mean, Ruud can win the French. He's lost the GOATs at the French Open finals. He's made the semi-finals the last couple of years. I mean, we all forgot that Ruud, Ruud on clay is as scary as it comes. Not many players can beat him. He's 7 in the live rankings, 400 points behind Novak. Who's that, Ruud? Yeah. Casper wrote on the screen, on the camera, and nothing more. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Kyrgios punching the air right now. No, they're sweet. They're cool. Him and Kyrgios are fine. It's Sabalenka's birthday tomorrow? Cool. Ruud wasn't that much ahead. What in the rankings or in the match? Literally all the clay titles were claimed by clay princes. Yeah. Rune, Zverev, Alcaraz, Ruud. Rome's going to be fun. Maybe Sinner wins Rome and then we see what's up. 5th of May, isn't it same as Sabalenka's birthday? It's still Sunday in the UK. Oh, okay. We're talking about tomorrow. Oh, me. Ruud will win RG this year. Okay. Carlos' birthday is tomorrow. Okay. I'm glad I got to witness Ruud's first 1,000. Yeah. So good. If Draper hadn't won Indian Wells, would feel bad. Great for Ruud. Yeah. We've had 4 different champions at 1,000 level. In fact, all the big trophies this year have gone to somebody different. Australian Open went to Sinner. Indian Wells went to Draper. Mensik won Miami. Carlos won Monte Carlo. And now Ruud wins Madrid. I mean, it's been a nice even spread of tournaments. And then you want to go down to another level. I mean, Zverev won Munich. Tsitsipas won Dubai. Rune won Barcelona. We can go down. I can't remember all the other ones, but a lot of other ones too. Like, it doesn't seem like too many double ups. It's been a very even spread of trophies for everybody over the last couple of months. Great for tennis, yeah. Who do you think will win Rome? WTA ATP pick? I don't know. I hope Swiatek wins Rome. Swiatek and I'm going to go Swiatek and Runa. Swiatek and Runa. I don't know. I'll see. Wait, when the draw comes out, I'll tell you. Jay.
Casper and Jack are two of my favourite players. Happy for both of them, and especially glad that Casper finally got a big one.
Yeah, great to see. Thank you for the 10. By the way, thank you, Isabel, for the 31 months as well. Appreciate that. Okay. So who is the best player without a big title now, Cam? Berrettini? Like Demonor, Musetti, Berrettini, Tommy Paul. You know, they're probably up there. Think Zverev will win a slam this year? Maybe. Will Sinner win Rome? No idea. Fritz has got a 1,000. He won Indian Wells. I reckon the guy who is sweating the most in the tennis right now is Fritz. I mean, on clay for sure. I mean, Fritz, though, could dominate Wimbledon. So, like, he could win Wimbledon, Fritz. I don't think that's out of the question. I would love to see Alcaraz Fritz at Wimbledon. That'd be a fun match. I'll take that match every day. I'll take that quarterfinal, semi-final. First, your point of, is there anything special between Sinner and... Wait, who? I don't care about relationship. I don't care about player relationships. I don't care about player gossip. Sinner has a girlfriend. Cool. I don't care. Like, good for him. I don't... Why would you want my opinion on that? What am I going to do? What do you want me to say? Congratulations. Like, I don't have anything... What do you want from me? I got nothing for you. I don't have an opinion. It's good for him and it's his business and I don't care. Like, it's none of my business, so I'm going to leave it. I have no opinion. Rome draw is tomorrow. Or later today, whatever day it is. Listening driving is best. Nice, Bradley. Sinner back in the draw tomorrow. Yep. What's the difference between 250 and 500 match? 250 is a smaller tournament. 500 is a bigger event. It's worth more points, worth more prize money. That's the difference. Congrats to Casper. It's always good to see consistent work pay off. Yeah. Love that for Ruud. Ruud is a true clay quarter, but Roger, with his serve, did really well in Madrid. Yeah. I mean, Roger... Yeah. Do you think Novak plays RG? Yes. Tomorrow is the first day after Sinner's suspension and Alcaraz's birthday. Nice. How many 1,000 events has Casper won? This is his first. It's his first 1,000 event. So we love that for him. Dutchy.
Hi Cam, thanks for the stream. Hi to Mia.
No worries. Mia is passed out behind me. Thank you for the $2. Sabalenka versus Serena. Who do you think is a more powerful player? Serena. Serena. Casper, one of the most humble players? Yeah. Yeah. One of the most well-deserved champions for sure. Did anyone see Tsitsipas and Paula joking about having a Greek wedding? No. But that's cool. Would Monte Carlo Carlos have beaten Ruud today? Probably. Why does being humble matter? I mean, it doesn't matter, but people appreciate humble. I don't think it matters. Like, if you're not humble, that, I don't, it depends. Some people don't. Some people might think humble is boring, but yeah, I think most people respect humble. And Casper Ruud's as humble as they go. Draper still has to keep working on his endurance because RG is best of 5. Yeah. And it's going to be an interesting test. The ladies' doubles trophy were plates like jacks for the winners and the runners-up. Could have done better. Yeah, the trophies here are always such a talking point, you know. Medi's 11 in the world. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Yep, Draper won Indian Wells. All right, chat, we're going to get out of here in a minute because I am so... That stream was way longer than I thought. 3 hours. I thought it would be... I thought it would be a good match, but I didn't think it'd be this late. It's 5:30 in the morning. I have Keys and Musetti, okay. But again, don't forget to sub on the way out. We've got... I got to get shit tomorrow. Get stuff sorted tomorrow for Indian Wells? No. Rome. God, chat. Chat, we can't even celebrate for a minute because we've got another tournament next week. It's so... Chat, do you guys get as tired as I do? Do you guys get like fatigued? Just man, it's brutal out here. These 2-week 1000s. I mean, they're already hard enough, but then like once one ends, the next one's like straight away. So there's just no breathing room. We just go straight into the next one. 2 more weeks again, and then we've got an actual 2-week Grand Slam. Pick Sabalenka and Ruud, so happy? Nice. I do, but I missed it in the off season, so it's okay. Yeah, yeah. Definitely takes it out of me, these 2-week Masters, for sure. By the end of them, I'm like, oh, yeah, a break of 24 hours, and then I'll be back. I feel like, by the way, chat, I'm just going to say this now because I don't know what's going to happen over the next few days when it comes to what we're going to watch. We're going to watch the draw tomorrow, then we'll know a little bit more. But I am actually planning to not watch much to start the tournament because I need some time. I need a few days just to recharge because I've been running on empty for since Miami. So yeah. I'm gonna try. Like we're gonna watch stuff. You know, there's obviously players, unseeded players, Osaka. Maybe watch Alexandra Eala. Raducanu's obviously around. We've got on the men's side a couple of players. So that we are gonna watch some players, but don't expect me to be watching 12 hours of tennis on Tuesday. 2-week Masters too long? Yeah. Yeah, so I definitely need a couple of days to just switch off and plug the recharge the batteries and be ready to go. I'm just having a look. So on the men's side, is there any unseeded players that we have to watch? Who's coming in? Fonseca. Okay. We've got Fonseca. That's about it. So yeah, Fonseca, Osaka, Eala, Raducanu. Am I missing anyone else on the women's side? Bencic. Yeah. So we'll definitely watch some matches, but yeah, like I said, the first couple of days we're going to be probably like keeping it to hopefully 1 or 2 matches, and then by Thursday that's when we start getting the seeds play. So Swiatek or Sabalenka or Gauff will be on Thursday. So I'm hoping the next 3 days will be a little bit light, but they're not going to be zero. Like I doubt we're going to do 0 streams. I doubt we'll do no matches. We'll be streaming every day for the next 2 weeks. Think Fonseca can win Rome? No idea. Depends on his draw. Ons is unseated as well. Oh, there you go. Ons is another one. Damn. Whew. Brutal. All right. See you later in the week. No worries. Maria, we'll see you later. All right, chat, I'm out of here. Thank you for joining us. What a final. Arguably the best final we have seen in the ATP 2025. And, yeah, great win. Oh, hello. Did you hear that? Is it the magic word, did you? You heard it was a magic word, did you? You heard a magic word, did you? All right. I don't know what I said, but she heard something. All right. We're going to be back tomorrow for the draw for Rome, so tune in for that whenever that happens. We'll be keeping an eye on what's going on with that. But great win by Casper Ruud, who wins his first 1,000 title in 2.5 hours against Draper. 7-5, 3-6, 6-4. And he is back in the top 10, and he's in the 1,000 club. He joins the club after years and years of knocking on the door, waiting in the line, and the bouncers let him in this time, and he is now a 1,000 champion. Let's see how he does in Rome, because Ruud can play well in Rome as well. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the Rome draw. But great win by Ruud. And good week by Draper as well.